Hello everybody,
Internet.
welcome
What
back
the-
to Fast Builders Lounge. I'm Stephen, we're here for all your building needs. Say hi everybody, who are we?
Oh god, that was a train wreck.
Yeah, okay.
Are you
Sorry.
good?
I didn't get a chance to like.
You want to taste the big leagues, huh? Go on. Fucking, I don't make you guys introduce yourselves. I introduce the room. Go on.
Well, I'm your chief builder and chief engineer. You're talking to Stephen.
And
I thought I was doing the introduction to myself. And we've got second in charge, Seth. How you going, big fella?
Everyone, I'm kind of dying right now, but it's all Steven's fault.
Yep. And we have the chief journeyman of Smoko Breaks, Patrick.
I'm trying to think of what Steve does. Because he never says hi. Wubble of a dub dub. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I like that one.
Rick and Morty
Yeah.
joke. Yeah, real funny. But yeah, no, this Fast Builders Lounge thing, I didn't really think it through. I thought it'd be funny just to do this. I didn't think you'd make me do stuff. Do you want me to host? I can host if you want me to.
I mean, it's a 50-50 shot if we keep this in, so fuck it. Just keep going.
All right, well, cool. Yeah,
I'm giving you this as is. This is a perfect train wreck.
Some might say it's a... So, when you guys are building railway
Some might
networks...
say it's a what?
So when you guys are building...
hosting, you don't, like, no... You can't throw it to other people to finish your sentences. You are the host, my guy.
Yeah, and we've gone off the rails a bit. So because when you're such a good host like me, you can adapt.
Build us back
you
on.
can
Build us
change.
back on.
Yeah, I'm building. Hang on. Let me build. Which is the
Wubble
cheap
wubble dub dub.
catchphrase. Stop saying that. So
Yes, it's annoying, eh?
but yeah, all right. I take the point. I think I've learned my lesson. I haven't really, but so back onto building news today.
Yeah.
You guys built anything recently?
I built software, actually.
Ah,
I
interesting.
took a bit of a break from the old wood. The old jib's getting a bit expensive down at the old Mitre 10 out of some bunning snags. So put down the tools and picked up the they're still tools. The software tools. That's what I've been building.
Yeah. So how do you do you just leave it to soak in water for it to get more soft and malleable? Like, how does it work when you're trying to nail stuff in? Is it soft? Obviously, it's soft enough to go straight
Mostly
through,
spit.
but are you worried about
It's like a lot of spit.
mostly spit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. But do you find that you get that on the big jobs?
What, getting like I collect the spit in a bucket. That's like, it's not just my spit.
Ah, really? Oh,
What, you
interesting.
think you put up a house and one person spit alone? No.
Well, I do. I just maybe that's because I'm built different, just like my houses.
Tell you what, that shit. Big Bad Wolf gonna rock up. Your house, the spitless house. That's the straw house, my guy.
So to add on to the train wreck of this, my audio just kind of died on me for like the last minute.
That's fine. You weren't really saying anything.
Okay,
Like-
let's say this is the episode that goes out. Could it have been any worse if the audio was still there?
Oh no, that's why I'm adding it in now and letting everyone know. Just
Okay.
to add to the train wreck of what the situation is.
Yeah, cool. What about you, Seb? Actually, shit. Sorry, that host job.
Too late.
Host, yeah.
Too late. No, the Solar Fast Builders Lounge has now.
What do you mean? I mean,
been
this is
transferred
what
to
you do every so often. You're like, what about you, Pat? But I don't really give a shit about you. So ask Seth. Ask Seth. Steve, ask Seth. Do it.
What have you been up to, Seth? What have you been building?
I've been building a weak immune system.
I don't really think
My
you should
God, he's
brag
using more
about
spit
building
than I
weak
am.
stuff.
Yeah, so remember how last week I said that I was coming down with COVID? Yeah, fun facts
You
about
didn't say that on Fast Builders Lounge. You must have said it on another podcast.
So there's a very fun story behind it. I have my own Cinderella story where right after we finished recording, when the clock struck midnight, I could feel it activate in my body like an entire electric shock just went through my entire system, and I was like, "Oh no, I need to go lay down. I need to stop." And then my Friday was awful.
So were you the pumpkin or the mouse?
I was the glass slipper.
Oh,
It was the ugly stepsister. Oh,
got
okay.
it. Feet thing. Right. That tracks.
No, lost and scared.
And looking for feet. Got stepped on a lot of times. Okay. So I know I'm done. I did my bit.
What do you mean you're done? Steve,
what do you mean I'm done?
We've done 71 episodes of this. What comes naturally now after the preamble?
No, we haven't done 71 episodes of this. This is the first episode we're doing of this
What do you mean?
thing
This is
that we're doing
the
right
same.
now.
This is exactly the same as the previous 70.
Yeah, you
This
know
is
what?
the-
You're
this is
right.
the-
Bar
This is the
for
first
bar.
episode of Fast Builders Lounge. This is the first episode of Fast Builders Lounge.
So you want another fun thing, Patrick? Right before we started recording, Stephen told me this was going to be his idea.
Yeah, you're an absolute dog, Seth. Why'd you tell him this? Oh my god, I'm never telling you anything again. Holy shit, man.
You've
Really dropping the
gone,
boys there. Far out.
you've gone through with the joke. I think it's safe to tell him now.
There's nothing that he gains from this other than just tattling on Steve for the sake of it.
No, because I was going to tell you if I had gotten a moment alone so you could like mentally prepare for this and kind of try and shut it down, but then Steven showed up first and you showed up at the exact same time. Like, well, shit, I need to see how this plays out now.
You literally could have messaged him. And you know what? I'm never telling you anything again. You can be stuck with him. Stuck with his bullshit.
Nothing but building a house of cards, and you know what? They all come crashing down, don't they, Steve?
If you don't tell me, who will you have on your side when you want to do a stunt like this again?
You're not being invited back. I think Fast Builders Lounge was better as a one-man
Are
show.
we disbanding? Is that what's happening?
I think so.
Fast Builders Lounge is breaking up live on air.
It looks like
so
we're,
Patrick, do you
we're
want to give us the
deconstructing.
intro for Fast Travel Lounge?
We're 7 minutes in. We're so far fucking past that point. Why don't we just go straight around the lounge and just see how recoverable we can get? God, if this is the first episode someone's listening to, they're going to be so confused.
No, they don't. They came here for their construction.
Seth,
meet.
other than being a cowardly bitch behind Steve's back, what else have you been up to this week?
Absolutely jack shit. What about you, Stephen? What have you been up to?
Okay, that's fine. Oh, Patrick, do you want to do the actual intro for Around the Lounge this time? Actually, no, I'm just going to take over hosting and I'll see what he's been up to. Yeah, thanks, Seth.
You
You're
know what?
welcome.
Just for that, I'm going to say perfectly what I was going to say before. So as we're very well aware, our favorite game development studios, or Arcane Austin technically, but our favorite game publishers, Xbox Game Studios, published Redfall this week. It came out on Tuesday, I believe.
And boy, did it fall into the red.
Yeah, look.
Wow, really? Not even a comment? I was so happy with that.
Yeah, well, you took what
Oh.
I was going to say. Maybe we should get back to Fast Builders Lounge. We seem to.
This
at
never would
least-
have happened if
at
you were
least
the host.
what we. Yeah, but maybe if what we're building wouldn't have
If
fallen
Steve
into the
was
red.
hosting this would hit different. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, well, let me tell you one thing: Redfall hits different, and
And not in the good
in the
way.
good spots. Yeah, like look, I'll be honest with like between me, you, Seth, and
All the builders out there.
the people that tuned in to Fast Builders Lounge, or our Minecraft builders as well. This is potentially one of the video games that I've ever played. It's up there.
Like a top 5 video games you've played. Yeah, exactly. You have to think about that one, don't you? Other than Redfall, anything else? Anything else, Steve?
Yeah, no, just Redfall.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Yeah, like I haven't had much time for video games.
You know what? I don't want to know what Steven's doing anymore. What are you doing, Patrick?
Wow, goes for the bloody, just goes for the throat twice. Just takes the host job twice. Why don't you just slit my throat and leave me for dead?
I knew the throat goat.
No, because I need a
have-
new throat.
I've started playing a little bit of the Rally Adventure Forza Horizon 5 expansion pack, and
Good on ya.
I finally, as I alluded to at the end of the last episode, got around to playing the April update for Sunbreak. I have thoughts, but we'll have to wait a little bit longer to get to those thoughts, because why don't we start with, actually, let's just hit the Forza thing now. Forza, the Rally, so... as I kept talking about, it's so much worse. That's cursed. So turns out when I kept saying, I wonder when they're going to do this second expansion pack for Forza 5, they did. They announced it like several months ago, and it came out. I think it only came out start of last month, in the last 2 months at least. It hasn't been out for very long, and it's Rally Adventure, which is funny because it's the first of the last few Forza games where they've done the silly one first and then the serious one second. The main pros, I really like rally games. Played Dirt Rally a lot, which is much more of a sim. Obviously, this coming from Forza is much more arcadey, but having the whole co-driver calling out the turns up ahead is quite fun. They make a big deal about telling you when it changes between like gravel to sand to tarmac, and it does feel quite different in terms of handling, as you'd expect, which is cool. The one thing that I'm not super big on is that Hot Wheels made total sense to play in multiplayer because it's just one big map and, you know, the races and stuff. But Rally is a very singular format. So I haven't done multiplayer, but I suspect I actually don't know how they do it because I don't think you could have cars going at the same time on the rally tracks. But maybe you do. I don't know how they do it, but it's not the most obvious multiplayer experience. And I don't know how it would go in multiplayer. So a little bit nervous for that. But the map itself is awesome. I really like the map. It's much more kind of, think of it like MotorStorm 1, the sort of Monument Valley, Arizona type, big sort of canyons and lots of sort of dirt and gravel and bits of tarmac here and there, and then big sand dunes out to one side. So they did a really cool job on the map design. It's nice and compact too, because I know that I complained about that in Unbound, and I still stand by that. Like this feels very like it's really cool in that because it's very canyony, terracey. You can be on one side of the map and basically just line of sight to the other side of the map, and you can sort of see the kind of spaghetti road pathway to get there. So I really like how they set the map out.
Is the map? So you say you can see the entire map depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Is it a big map?
I mean, the DLC map areas generally aren't that big. Hot Wheels would be much bigger because they've got large interconnecting Hot Wheel tracks to kind of connect different islands. So it's not that big a map.
Yeah, okay.
But it took... Yeah, I drove around... because, you know, number go up. Horizon gives you a tally of every road that you've driven on, including in the DLC areas. And so what I like to do...
that's pretty cool.
What I like to do is I like to, when I first load into a DLC area, just drive around, just jump in a car and just drive around before doing any of the events. Just so that, because when you do an event, sometimes you finish the event and then you're partway down a road. And then I think this happened more in Horizon 4, but there's like a couple roads that I haven't driven, but I can't tell from the map because the little bit that I'm missing to have driven on is like overlapped by two sections that I have. So I'm just forever missing like one road, which I'll just have to randomly drive around to find if I ever go back. Yeah, I like to sort of drive around and see the whole map. It didn't take me that long, I guess, is where I was trying to get to with that. It only took me maybe 90 minutes or so to drive over every road. So that might sound like a lot, but that's also a lot of like backtracking and driving like round the map to get to a road that I haven't driven yet. So I think the map is a good size for what it offers.
So hang on. So apologies, I haven't played this specific game, Forza Horizon.
Man comes here and talks about how great X-Bros is every time, yet hasn't played this. What is he doing?
We got cars at home. I can drive at home.
It's an expansion pack. It's not free with Game Pass, so he doesn't play it.
So what type of events take place? You've talked about the world. What type of events take place in the world? Are they... they're probably all standard racing games, racing events, and that's fine. But are they just essentially the same courses repeated with different car classes? Or is it different ways to navigate the road?
These are rally events, so...
So you wouldn't be on road, you'd be off-road.
Well, both. You have roads and you jump. That's what I'm saying. Like during rallies, the co-driver will call out switching to tarmac, switching to dirt, switching to gravel, switching to sand. So the roads can go all over the place. So the way that they do the campaign in this one is that you can kind of choose which of the three paths. There are three paths, and you choose which path you kind of want to work towards first. And the three options are traditional rally, night rally, and I think road rally are the three. I really haven't done that many events because, as I say, I was mostly playing around with the map. There's sort of three different events, and then those are the sort of event classes, and then those will then be split up into the various classes of car you can use on those events, if that makes sense.
Is there a significant number of cars you can use? Or can you take every car that you could take in the base game to the expansion?
Yeah, that's a better way to look at it. Like you can, and obviously if you have off-road tires, you'll do much better because there's nothing stopping you sticking Hot Wheels or drag tires on a car, but you will not turn when you're off-road. So
yeah, I can imagine putting an Aventador off-road is...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good luck, have fun. But yeah, so you can, like it gives you that option, but there are certainly smarter and dumber car choices to make.
So when you are picking, maybe for the uninitiated like myself, I'm making a problem out of nothing, which is my favorite thing to do, just like jumping to conclusions. So let's say you are picking a car and you are picking one of these events. Will there be like a warning on screen that says, hey, this isn't a rally car. What the fuck are you doing? Or is it like nah, you made your bed, shit in it?
So I actually think it's both. I might be confusing this with how Blizzard Mountain worked, where if you tried to pick a car that didn't have snow tires, the game would be like, hold up, are you sure? But that's mostly on when you're choosing the car to drive around, not necessarily choosing the car for the event. But every event that you do, it'll give you a list of cars that the game recommends you use first, and then if you scroll past those, you can just choose whatever. So it's kind of both. Typically, you're driving around in the car you would end up using for events anyway, right? So there's sort of a middle ground of you're just in the car that you want for the event.
Yeah, and I guess probably by getting this expansion, you're no stranger to driving games, and realistically, if you've got 3 IQ points, you can be like, oh, this probably isn't an off-road car.
Yeah, although it's sort of worth noting that even in that, like the game does match you on performance points and the class. So there's every possibility that the game will pick a car that is just better for the same number of points as you. But if you pick like an SUV, most of the vehicles that you race against will also be SUVs.
Oh, okay.
So I pick a Jeep Trailcat because that's just one of my favorite cars, just in general, just unironically. Like I just really like the car. Well, SUV, truck, it's a Jeep. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, but anyway, and that usually just smokes most things that the AI can throw at you because other vehicles in that class are hard to reach the same number of performance points as I have with the Trailcat. And so some of the events I smoke everyone else. Other times I get smoked because really fast and straight line, really hard to turn on some of the tracks. So you lose a lot of time in a few different places. So yeah, it's the game's pretty good about letting you pick what you want and then trying to kind of match the experience. So the game won't punish you that hard. And there's the difficulty assists and sliders and everything else available as well.
Yeah, okay. So I'm still trying to conceptualize, and I've been Googling some rally examples so I know what it looks like in my head. When you do have the co-pilot nipping away your ear about where to go, is it actually useful or is it for flavor? Because like from my recollection, I think the last Forza I played was like Horizon 4, maybe? Horizon 3? The one that was in the UK, but anyway. 4? Okay, cool. Do you need it? Like, it's just a waypoint on the map or something? Like, or is it just good flavor? Is
combination of both. It's it's definitely helpful. There are times where you will see where you need to go, and the co-driver will still tell you, left 6 or right 6, which means basically take it flat out. And there's not a huge amount of info gain in there, but other times, particularly when you're coming up to like blind corners and things, having the co-driver announce the corner, even if it's not that useful for that corner, overall is very helpful.
Okay.
And it matches playing, say, Dirt Rally, where the co-driver will basically be continuously. It's really cool. Back when I used to play Dirt Rally a lot more, I haven't played a huge amount of it in a while, but when I used to play it a lot more, you would set how far in advance you want the co-driver to warn you. And so for a while, you would be like 2 or 3 corners back, and you just have this kind of buffering of what the next couple corners are in your head as you were going, and you feel so smart when you can anticipate each of the corners coming up. So it's really cool in that sense. But Dirt Rally is way more punishing than this game because the whole point is much more simulation. So being a more arcadey racer, the co-pilot is not life or death, but is still quite helpful in rallies.
Cool. You having fun though?
Yeah. I as I say, really enjoy rally at the best of times. So
all right, you've got a gun to your head. Your family's been taken prisoner. You have to choose rally or normal street racing. Which one would you like?
What if I don't like my family?
Ooh.
I intentionally pick wrong?
No, they shoot you instead. They can tell when you're lying.
They can tell when I'm lying. Okay.
Got to pick a favorite.
Yeah. So okay. Where do we put Motorstorm on that list? Do we put it rally or do we put it street? I guess the distinction I'm making is that rally is you're racing yourself, and that it's like time trial compared to other people. Street racing is you're racing like with other people. Motorstorm is a blend of the two.
Motorstorm I see as an arcade rally game.
Steve, the one with the gun to the heads of my family and possibly me as well.
Yeah, I'd say it's rally. As someone who's never played it.
Yeah, rally then. Rally over street racing for me.
Give us Motorstorm against Sony.
Give us MotorStorm. Yeah, exactly.
It's been 3,000 years.
Seth, do you also have the spiders? Do you also have the spiders crawling under your skin, begging for a return to Pacific Rift?
Yeah, no, it's really itchy.
Get off the pipe, both of you.
Give us a HD remaster at least.
Oh man, just give me a way to illegally emulate Pacific Rim.
I mean, it is possible.
Actually, what's funny? Okay, but I want it easier though. It is funny talking about how MotorStorm sits in the rally category, because if you think about MotorStorm Apocalypse, that's technically arcade rally in the streets.
Better than being in the sheets, eh?
Well, I mean, I'd much rather have MotorStorm in the sheets, but I guess that's just me. You get the big lizard head monster trucks. It's a good time.
You know, I was always more of a bike player myself.
Were you actually?
Yeah, I really love the motorbikes in MotorStorm.
Huh? I'm a mud plugger kind of. Oh, actually, that sounds like a sex thing. Oh no!
We're taking it back to the sheets.
No, I liked the racing trucks and mud pluggers.
Yeah, fair. If I wasn't playing a motorbike, I'd try out a monster truck just to roll over everyone.
Yeah, true. The old slam mechanic, but with L1 and R1. Anyway, diverting wildly from Rally Adventure to Pacific Rim, but no, overall really enjoying it. As I say, because it's a mix of arcade with what I've typically played as more simulatory sort of rally. It's I don't know if it'll keep my attention as much as Hot Wheels did, where I basically smashed through everything in like a week or two. But yeah, I'll come back and play bits of it as I go. But yeah, really enjoying what I'm seeing so far. I just need to figure out how the multiplayer works. Because that's the one block that I haven't been able to try yet. But speaking of
Rate out of 10?
So far, I'd say 7. Oh, completely forgot to mention. I don't know. So Epitaph Radio was not a radio station in the base game, as far as I know. I don't know if it was introduced as an update with Rally Adventure, with Hot Wheels, or just a game update. But it's my new favorite radio station. Works really, really well, especially with Rally. It's more kind of like punky, metally type music. Really, really nice addition. I don't know when they added it, but I like it. Overall, out of 10, probably I would probably give it a 7, which seems low, but it's just because Rally is such a different discipline to what I think of when I think of Forza, like Horizon, the open world driving game. So yeah, I'll wait to see if it surprises me, but it's not a direction that I would have expected Horizon to take.
Neat. Okay, hang on. No. Let's unpack that a bit more. Do you want them, let's say Forza Horizon 6 comes out, do you want them to do another rally expansion?
No, I don't, just because what I really like about Horizon is that in the base game there are like cross-country events and off-road events. They're not rally, they're just grid races, just off-road. And an arcade racer makes way more sense when you're racing with a bunch of other players. And rally, because it's such a solitary discipline, removes a lot of the kind of communal, everyone just hanging out, having fun type vibe of a Forza Horizon game. Like, one of my favorite features they didn't have it in 5, I don't think, but shoot, was it 3? Might have been 4. They definitely had it in 3. Definitely had it in 3. I don't remember if they had it in 4 or not, and they definitely don't have it in 5. Was that any car driving around, like any drivatar car, so not like an NP, not like a civilian car driving on the road, just any other sort of racing car driving around, you could honk and it would join your convoy.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So you just drive around and there'd just be this mob of like 5 or 6 cars, and
honk, honk.
You didn't necessarily have a destination in mind. You'd just be driving around, and that's really fun. And that spirit is what I think of when I think of Forza Horizon. But the rally discipline is really enjoyable for a bit. It's not Horizon to me.
So a follow-up question then. Do you think Forza would benefit from having its own rally side series? So you've got the motorsport games and you've got the Horizon games, and then you can have this other rally sort of thing for the people that really like rally games?
Well, the thing is, you're basically describing Codemasters like Dirt series, and that is...
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm just wondering, do you think Forza itself would benefit from having a Dirt Rally style game?
I mean, I'd be interested to see what it's like, but I I haven't played Forza Motorsport. Well, I haven't played any recent Forza Motorsports. I think I might have tried Motorsport like 3 or something in a JB Hi-Fi like 10 years ago. But I don't know. I the problem is I feel like if they do it really well, right? Let's say they get it perfect. To me, that replaces the role of what Codemasters Dirt Rally is, and Codemasters Dirt Rally is still my favorite rally game. So if they do it perfectly, awesome, fantastic. But
I think Codemasters is dead now, by the way.
I think it might be as well. Well, because they did Dirt Rally 2.0, and everyone said it's fine, but it wasn't as good. Oh yeah, definitely seeing rain getting picked up a little bit more on the mic now. It's absolutely thundering down outside. Yeah, I don't know. They
be good rally driving.
I would obviously love to see them release a rally game, but because I know how good Dirt Rally is, it's not something I think I'm missing. That's probably the best way I can put it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just thinking of the angle of people that really like Forza and people that really like rally games might get a kick out of combining the two, because that's probably what this DLC is trying to pick up on for those specific people. They're like trying to cover all their bases as much as they can.
Well, Sony, if you're listening, there's another thing you could do to hook up the communities of rally enjoyers and Forza Horizon enjoyers, and that's give us MotorStorm 2 Remastered.
You hear that, Jim Ryan? We want MotorStorm back.
I will buy it day one. I will pre-order it, which is rich because of how shitty a lot of the pre-orders have gone recently, and we're going to talk about one of those in a sec. No. I will pre-order Remastered MotorStorm 2. Just give me the chance to give you my money. But speaking of things that are shitty and dead on arrival, Redfall.
Where do I start?
At the beginning, where it all went wrong.
So at the beginning of time...
You know what? Start with the announcement of the game.
I'm not going to start that far back. So Redfall... So you know what? I'm going to go get a little bit of context to make my feelings of this game a bit more fleshed out.
Is it a game on Game Pass?
It is a game on Game Pass, but I wasn't...
Patrick, it might be based.
Seth, or can I tell my story?
Be based.
Fuck you. I'm telling my story. So it's no secret to any of us at this table that Xbox has not really had any exclusives in recent times, simply because Starfield got delayed.
We just had Hi-Fi Rush, though.
It's not an exclusive, big fella.
Yeah, it is.
Is it on like Steam and stuff?
It's Xbox and PC only.
That I'd count as exclusive.
And as far as Microsoft and Sony count those as exclusives these days.
Oh yeah. Well, all right. Well, apart from Hi-Fi Rush, give me 10 on
Hi-Fi Rush 2.
So
Pentiment also came out last year.
Oh, fuck, here we go. But there haven't been like any big ones.
Forza Horizon.
That was like 3 years ago, buddy. Get over it.
Literally just talking about their expansion, and expansions don't count. But anyway, so there's been a couple of the AAA titles. Like I wouldn't call Pentiment or Hi-Fi Rush AAA titles. Like there's been nothing that's been like, whoa, this is like a well-known IP like a Halo or a very new concept. I don't know, like a Last of Us or something. That's equivalent.
A big AAA game that really pushes why you should own an Xbox.
Yeah, and there's been some discourse about Microsoft in general being disappointed with Xbox console sale numbers and what that means to the future of Xbox, despite the fact that Game Pass subscriptions are at a high. It's like, well, why is there a need to keep developing the Xbox console if everything's just going to come to PC anyway?
Just a quick question on that as well. Didn't they also say they've kind of plateaued on Game Pass numbers and they're waiting for Starfield to see if it bumps that up?
I don't think they said that. I think that was notorious leaker Jeff Grubb that said that. But at the same time, Microsoft is very cagey with those numbers. So it'd be very interesting to see if it's probably fallen into the cycle of all subscription services now, where it's peaks when something new comes out like Redfall. People will subscribe for a month or two and then people will drop off. So it's a roller coaster thing now is my probable guess. But they don't release those numbers, which is a shame. But anyway, so Redfall, they announced it last year, I believe, and it was supposed to be like, whoa, Xbox game studios are doing their own new IP, and it's technically published by Bethesda, and it's people from Arcane, which have done good games like the Dishonored series and 2017's Prey, which I haven't played, but I've heard it's very good. Yeah, so it's had those great studios behind it, and I've got to be honest with you, fellas, it's not good. It is trying to do too many things and does none of them well. It's set in an open world environment. It has separate like little quests and stuff. It has sort of a weird loot mechanic with the dropping of guns and different types of guns. It has leveling up in skill trees, but the skill trees aren't really that fleshed out. And it's trying to tell a story about all these vampires invading the city, and it is just not... It does nothing well.
I've also heard it made the ultimate crime in co-op shooters by making it all tied to host progression and not making it easy to just drop in and out.
Yeah, I don't play co-op.
Oh yeah, but for like people that do, and like I guess a comparison to Borderlands, which is very easy to just drop in and out, and this is the kind of game that they're going for. It's like you need to make sure you hit that properly.
Yeah, I have also seen it compared online with Borderlands, like especially between the drop in, drop out, plus some of the loot mechanic as well. But I don't really think that's an appropriate measure, because if you are comparing this to Borderlands, you're doing Redfall a bigger disservice than what it deserves. Like it's bad, but like
okay, well, what does it deserve? Because
it deserves nothing, sir.
So the comparisons I've seen is that Borderlands has like different loot drops with different like pretty much RNG on what the weapons do, and like if there's like minor stat increases and all that type of thing, and there's different grades of rarity. Redfall does the same thing, but it does it very bad, and you can sort of tell that while the game is sort of designed around giving you a lot of weapons, the RNG mechanics and the legendary scaling system, it's just not built to be dropping a lot of weapons. So to give you an example, right? And the first time this happened, I thought I was hitting a bug or something, or there was something wrong. But then I realized it's actually the game. So when you kill an enemy, let's say the enemy was holding an assault rifle, the enemy will fall down and there'll be a gun right next to him. And you're like, oh, cool, I want to pick up his gun. You can't pick up the gun. Probably within 5 to 10 seconds, the gun pretty much just evaporates. Like enemies don't drop guns. They'll drop ammo. They will not drop guns. You only find guns in like chests. I wouldn't know chests, like, but like loot containers, which is very, very weird. And like you can also find them like statically in the world on top of desks and stuff. It's weird for them to have this rarity and drop mechanic, but limit the drops not from enemies, but only put them in containers. It's very strange.
Do you know if the containers are RNG based and if they're doing it that way?
I believe it is, from what I've seen. Where there is probably a couple of chests that have like static things on what they're supposed to, if it's like a quest-based item. But there are definite times when I'll come into a bit later where I've had to redo an area, and I've checked the chest and it's got like a different weapon or a different set of ammo. It's a very strange game. So let's start at the top of. So the premise of the game is that it's set in a fictional town of Redfall.
That's the title.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what it said. And it's set in Massachusetts in the United States. So it's like it's designed to sort of give like a homey, for lack of a better word, villagey, small-time town, United States type of vibe. And vampires have come in. They've taken over the town. They've pretty much blocked off the town from like the outside world, and it's like, yep, this is our town now. We're going to black out the sun and we're just going to eat people. And that's pretty much it. And that's essentially as far as the story goes. You can pick one of 4 characters that is on a boat that's trying to get out, but then the boat doesn't make it. And then it turns out that you've got weird special powers. All 4 of these unique survivors, I say unique in quotation marks because they all seem just variations of the same thing. The only different thing is a special ability you'll get, and then I'll get to that later. So I chose he's like a cryptozoologist. His name's Devinder. And the second I picked him, I immediately regret it because he's always fucking talking. Blah, blah, blah.
If only there was someone like that.
I think that's going to be the case for all the characters.
And that's the scariest thing. That is a scary, like, I literally was probably within the first 2 minutes of playing this character, I didn't like him. And if all the other characters are like it, then I'm not going to like it. Like, he's talking to himself. He's always like, he's always got like a wisecrack to say, even when there's nothing around. Like there won't even be an enemy around. It'll just be like you'll discover a house or something, and it's a wisecrack, and it's like, who are you talking to? Shut up.
I don't know, Steve. It definitely sounds like you picked the character that most closely resembles you on Fast Travel Lounge.
I don't know what that show is. This is Fast Builders Lounge.
Should have picked a builder character. But then going on to the story as well, it doesn't present itself in cutscenes. Well, like there are cutscenes, but the cutscenes are like still images of like the in-game engine. So it's set itself up to be this, not a big story thing, but there is a story behind it. But it tells itself in like slideshows. Like think of like when you finish like a Fallout or an Outer Worlds and you get that end slideshow of what happened to all your characters. Imagine that, but that's what happens through every cutscene and through pretty much a lot of the dialogue and accepting of quests. It is the most weird, insane thing. It's just absolutely crazy. It's like they just couldn't take the time to animate it. It's nuts. And it just really does it a disservice. Like it looks, the way that Microsoft has been like shilling this for the past year, like you would not expect a AAA title. It's a AA title would get away from like with this kind of stuff, but it just doesn't. It's maddening.
Yeah, I ended up seeing a recap video by good old Moist Critical playing through it. Just stuck something on in the background for 20 minutes, and admittedly, I know basically nothing about Redfall. Knew basically nothing about Redfall, so going into this, but to see him play it, it looked like shit. Does anyone else remember that drama? I don't remember the company behind it. It was like that crypto game, and they came out and they're like, yeah, we spent like a year developing this, and everyone's like, that looks like the most generic PS3 era open world, like third person run around shooter type game. And then someone went and found all the assets, and all the assets were basically just the first things that you could find looking it up in Unity. I'm not saying that's what they've done in Redfall, but to see someone playing Redfall for a couple minutes, there wasn't anything distinct that would make me think that it was either A, fun, or B, like distinctive kind of stylistically to be like, oh, at least they're trying something different. Instead, all I saw was a lot of running around and just gaming the bloody AI because it couldn't move past like a box or some other inanimate object and just sat there. And it kind of felt just like an updated Garry's mod almost. It really, I don't know if I just picked a bad couple bits to watch, but it really didn't do itself any favors.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And it's sort of just to sort of picture in your mind like what it sort of plays like. It is a weird mix of, I want to say Fallout 4, because there's a bunch of collectibles you can collect, and well, not collectibles is probably the wrong words, but you can like scavenge items, and if you scavenge those items, it pretty much becomes like a weird junk currency thing that you can use to get other stuff. If there's a locked door, you can pick the locked door. Unfortunately, there's no mini game for picking the locked door. It's just you hold X, and you'll be going and exploring and finding different areas, and there are different fast travel points, but the fast travel points aren't hit automatically. You have to interact with something to unlock.
Any of them in lounges, perhaps?
No. Well, there are safe houses, and the safe houses have lounges. The safe houses, is because this is an open world game, act as those Ubisoft Tower things. Like there is no fog over the map, but the safe houses still exist as a, for lack of a better word, a safe haven where you can go and restock your ammo, restock your health. To unlock these safe houses, you have to turn on the power. And to turn on the power, you usually just turn 180 degrees from the locked door of the safe house, and there's the power button. It is...
Really?
Yeah, like, yep. Like, I think I found 2 safe houses, and both safe houses it's been like that. And I'm like, you really... you couldn't have just left that door open for me, eh? Very strange. And then when we'd go into these safe houses, they're abandoned when you first go there, so then you have to do a bunch of side quests. But these side quests are just generic fetch quests that I'm pretty sure are procedurally generated, because the game crashed on me because I've had a couple of crashes with this, and it didn't save the quest that I got because I was still in the safe house. So, but it changed.
Oh, but it gave you a different
quest I was supposed to do. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is ridiculous. And then so I'm like, okay, cool. Those are probably just generic procedurally generated quests. Maybe other side quests will be different. Cool. I'll pick a side quest. I had to fix a popcorn machine to make the home base feel like nice and stuff. It's given to me in a post-it stamp. I go to a movie theater. I pick up a popcorn repair kit. I come back. It makes me popcorn, and that's the quest. There's no either an interaction with another character. There's just nothing. It was generic. There was no unique enemy. There was.
Does the popcorn help you survive the vampires better?
No, it's one of those things that, like, if you interact with the popcorn machine from now on, it gives you popcorn, and popcorn restores like 20 points of health. Like it's a fucking stitch up. It tries to do so many things. Like, it wants to be this world that you can explore, but the world's not fun to explore because there's really nothing in it.
Well, the world looked fucking empty.
It pretty much is, yeah. There's nothing there. Or you'll see a house, you'll go into the house is all boarded up. Come back later. Not at all. You go to, because my character can teleport, because that's one of his abilities. I'll use it to stand on top of a roof to see if I can, like, scout around. Nothing there. It's not even as if you're encountering enemies. Enemies are very few and far in between. There's just nothing interesting or fun to interact with the world, and the landscape pretty much looks the same. All the houses look the same. Biomes that it's like, oh, you might be in a shipping yard in one biome, or you might be in a hill or a mountain area. But once you're in those biomes, there's no real, apart from changes of elevation and different Unity assets plop down, there's no real difference. Like, it's just very frustrating. The weapons sort of feel okay, but the AI is very, very dumb, so you never really get to use them to their full capacity. Like, there's numerous times where, because
I've seen multiple clips of people showing off how dumb the AI is, where it either just stands around running in circles around you, or their primary form of attacking you is just running in a straight line, doing one swipe and then stopping and then running in a straight line again and doing the exact same swipe over and over again.
Yeah, the vampire enemies do that, and it's fucking infuriating because it's like, okay, cool, I'll just get out of your way and you'll miss, or you'll get, because one of the other special ability I've got is it's like a spear that does like an AoE attack. I'll throw it at one character. It'll stick into that character, and then that character will run to cover, and then every other character will sort of just stay there and get shocked. And it does like a pretty big amount of damage to them. It is the most infuriating thing. And if there's like a ledge between you and an enemy, forget about it. They'll try to run straight at you, but they can't get through the ledge, so that's it. They're easy bait. And it's just such a different, like, there's like 4 or 5 different weapons and different sort of scaling with the weapons. Like, some of them will like have a 10% faster reload, or extra 20 damage, or et cetera, et cetera. But there's no real need to keep the numbers going up because you can just outsmart the enemy AI by literally just standing behind a tree.
It sounds like Metal Gear Survive, just gaming the AI with a fence.
And that's essentially what, like, I've done. Like, sometimes one of the big quests that I did, I was sort of getting a bit overwhelmed, and I did die, unfortunately, a couple of times because I was trying to play smarter than the AI.
Skill issue.
That's literally what it was. So instead of like entering the house that I was going into, and there was like 6 enemies, I essentially before I kept dying, I would like walk in. I'd like try to like find some cover, and I couldn't find some cover because the enemies would just stand there and shoot at me. So I'm like, okay, I'll stand in the entryway of the house, shoot the first enemy, and because I haven't moved the line of sight, the other enemies like can't see me, so they just can't. They're not just going to shoot at me, even though they know I'm there. It's crazy. And there's like all the side quests when you are exploring the world. I've had numerous problems where they just don't track. So it's got one of those compass things like Fallout 4 and Skyrim have in like the top 10% of the screen where it shows you the direction. But even if you do have a quest tagged, it doesn't come up on that. So you have to open the map. But then it's like marked on the map. It doesn't make sense like why you would have a compass thing up the top if you're not going to keep track of the quest. It's very, very strange. So then you have to use the ping system to track your quest. It is
Okay, so real talk. Is this the sort of game? Because I've seen nothing but just universal kind of meh to bad in terms of reviews for this. Is this the sort of game that you reckon Arcane's going to go, you know what? We missed the mark. we're gonna update it, and we're gonna re-release it in 6 months, and we'll give it the old Anthem treatment.
I don't think so. Like, I think it needs more.
There's rumors Arcane's already on their next project.
There you go. Well, there's your answer then. Like, it seems like one of those things that they, like, Arcane knew what they wanted to do, like an open world FPS type of thing. And then whether it's Bethesda or it's Microsoft or it's some dumbass middle manager has like, oh, hey, I've seen loot mechanics in another game. Put that on. Or I was playing Fallout 4 the other day and they had cool fast travel points that were like historical markers. Put that in. But like, don't make them automatic. They have to interact with the marker so to interact with the world. But if you don't see that marker, you're just going to walk straight past it. And then you're going to miss a fast travel point. It tries to do a lot of things. It does none well. And some of the things it would be better off without. Like that loot system, not needed. So
Stephen, forgive me because I'm going to do something heinous and use a reset error post to justify what I'm going to say next.
I'm begging you, big fella. I'd rather just not talk.
So from what I've seen on this post on reset error is that apparently Xbox and Microsoft were pretty hands-off with this game and they just kind of let Arcane do whatever they want and they just had a deadline set and were just like, okay, we're coming in, the game's going to ship when the date's coming up sort of situation, which I don't know if anyone else remembers, but that was kind of the exact same situation that Balan Wonderworld was in, where they're just like, yep, where Square Enix is just going to say, go ahead, make the game you want. If it's on fire 6 months from release and put it out yourselves, you got to release it at that time. And it seems like Arcane's made the game they want, but they haven't had the time to polish it to the points they want.
I'm honestly not sure it's a polished thing. I think it's they've chosen to do this thing and like maybe in testing or something, it works like it works like the way that it intended, but the way that it intended, like we stopped doing that like 10 years ago for video games. Like with to go back to the
it makes me
mechanic.
think of a polish or maybe a features incomplete sort of thing because you think of like Dishonored and everything, they've got all these different things of stealth kills and everything, and it's very in-depth in those situations, and then you come to Redfall and it's just like, no, your only melee option is a single stake animation and shoot the things. There's nothing else to the game.
Yeah, it's just incredibly simple.
I just don't get, like, you know, it's AAA. Quite a few people have touched this at all stages before it got released. I don't know how any of them play this game and go, oh yeah, it's my favorite game. I really enjoy working on this.
I don't think they will. I think they'll go, this is what we've like. Initially, we've got the chance to make something that we really wanted to, that was going to be different from Dishonored and Prey and what was the other one? Deathloop. This was going to be something
That's
very
right.
different
They
from.
made Deathloop.
Yeah. And this was going to be something they were like, yeah, we got to try something that was really different from those games.
Yeah,
we would have tried to do a lot of these different things, and then it's just, I don't know. I'm guessing they just didn't have enough time to polish properly and implement everything that they wanted to, and they're probably going to come out this really unsatisfied.
Oh, 100%, yeah, and it's probably another stake in the coffin for Xbox. If this is their big exclusive they've been touting for this year and it's released like this, it doesn't look good. Like I'm very glad this game came out on.
And the sad thing is, the person that leaks Hi-Fi Rush leaks that this was going to be coming in at a rough state, and said at the time of the leak that Starfield was in a worse state than this game was in.
Well, so I think there's two parts to that, and that's what I had a discussion driving someone home from Dungeons and Dragons yesterday. There are two parts to this. There is a rough state, as in like it keeps crashing, there are bug problems, etc., which this game does have a couple of bugs and a couple of crashes, which I've experienced, which are fucking rough. And then there's...
Oh, and it's 30 FPS.
Oh, yeah, don't forget it. Yeah, I can't remember if we said it on this show, which we probably did. It's 30 FPS on the Xbox Series X, which is a system designed for 60 FPS, and they're rolling out a patch later on. Like
It says 60 FPS on the back of the box, and some boxes have stickers on them going, yeah, this is coming at a later date, don't worry about it.
Fucking nuts. But then there's the other part of it's not done yet, where it's it's just not. It's very mid. It's like, okay, I see what you're trying to do here. You didn't do it. Like this just isn't. It's not a polished type of thing. It's you shouldn't be doing it like this.
I think the way that AI interacts shows that there's a lack of polish, and is another part of this being in a rough state sort of thing.
Yeah, but then there's like the loot mechanic and not getting weapons from enemies, but only being able to find them in like. It just doesn't seem like there's much of a difference between the different classes of loot. Like an orange, which is the rarest, isn't like you might be doing 32 damage instead of 31 damage. For getting even like the white, which is the most basic of weapons, and people. It just seems like they've made a couple of they've made a couple of decisions. Yeah, thank you. They've made a couple of decisions here where it's like you could have removed that from the game and spent that time doing something else or fixing something else up, like making sure the quests aren't fetch quests, making sure the cutscenes are animated and not fucking slideshows. Or fixing up the AI, fixing up the world. There's a bunch of different things, and they've tried to do it all. They've failed, and I just very disappointing. Us ex-bros are on life support. I'm telling you. But at the same time, and for better or worse, I'm like only 4 hours through this game, and unless something significantly changes, and this is it, I'll probably get to the end and I'll be like, huh.
So you are going to see it through?
I finish what you start, etc., etc. And from what I've seen, it's a relatively short game in quotation marks. It's only like 12 hours.
Oh, thank God it's a short shit AAA game.
Can I give the time length I saw on the shortest long play of the game I've seen so far?
Shortest long play, he says, but yes, play on.
The shortest video that's like a start to finish playthrough is 4.5 hours.
Fucking hell, surely. Well, then I'm nearly done.
Second shortest was about 5 hours. I've seen them go up to like 10 to 13, but like the shortest ones are really short, and those long ones are probably doing all the side stuff that they can.
Yeah, but I don't know. Is that its saving grace that it's short? Fucking hell. But
I'm looking forward to the Chromcat video dunking on this game.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the dunking video.
Me too. After they massively missed with that RE4 video, I need their comeback story.
True, actually, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, you're right.
The saving grace of this is it is on Game Pass. Like if I paid $70 for this game, not that I ever would pay
that's 70 Australian as well, not 70 US. Yeah, 70 Australian would be too much.
Yeah, like I'd just consider my life choices. Like even probably $25.
I can't believe that this game is cheaper than Dragon Ball Z: The Breakers. Yet Seth turns his nose up at this.
Yeah.
The game's actually 125 Australian dollars at the moment. I was just making a joke.
I'm saying even in that scenario, $10 less than Dragon Ball Z: The Breakers.
But yeah. we have to tell the people that this is being charged for 1.5 Dragon Ball: The Breakers.
And you know what the quality is? It's 1 Dragon Ball: The Breakers.
That's probably being generous.
Like one of the favorite comment that I've seen on social media at this game is there's like, this is the perfect Game Pass game, which is. And I'm like,
they said the line, Bart. They said the line.
They said the line.
Yeah, it's very disappointing, and it has made me a little bit worried about Starfield. Because Xbox has had a lot of problems. Like, remember when that Craig video came out about Halo Infinite, and it was like, you know what? Let's put it back in the oven. It's not done yet. And then like 12 months later, it came out, and it was good. Don't get me wrong, but it didn't have co-op, didn't have Forge.
It still wasn't cooked properly.
Yeah.
They made it into a kill zone.
Yeah, essentially. They had the pizza there, the cheese was there. There was just, you promised Italian sausages and there was no Italian sausage. But yeah, Redfall, 5 out of 10.
5? Jesus, that's generous. Yeah. Five is, you could take it or leave it for 120 Australian dollars.
5, they can take it or leave it for 20 Australian dollars. Yeah, I on a scale of recommend to not recommend, I do not recommend.
Did you give it a mid score? Fuck me.
Oh, I wouldn't recommend a 5 to someone. Like it's not necessarily a bad game. I know I've like revved on it for the past like 25 minutes.
It's actually got some upsides. Actually, you just need to once you get into the 5 hour mark, it really starts to pick up again.
Hopefully it does. But it just
Redfall puts its best foot forward.
Yeah.
putting the controller
It's
down.
handy.
Yeah, it tries a lot, and it's like oh yeah, cool. Like it does this. We moved away from that 10 years ago, but which is unfortunate. But that's showbiz, baby.
Cool.
Now tell me that Sunbreak comeback. Speaking of vampires and not liking the sun, give me that Sunbreak update.
I mean, that segue was better than Redfall, so I mean, I guess it's worth something.
Wouldn't be that hard to do.
It was a 5 out of 10.
I'd think
5.1
about
out of 10.
recommending that to someone as a segue. Right, so the Sunbreak update. So the April free update, which absolutely based Capcom releasing free update for us, chatted up, fucking bricked up Monster Hunter players. It came with a new Risen monster, Risen Shigaru Magala, which he hurts, he punches, he certainly gives you a what for the first couple rounds. Not a huge challenge for an epic monster hunter like myself, but the main purpose of the update was they'd been playing around with telling a little bit of a story through some of the free updates, and to be honest, I've actually forgotten basically every fucking character's name, but one of the characters had his village destroyed by an Amatsu, big sort of typhoon elder dragon. Not new to Sunbreak, by the way, but wasn't around in World. It was
that guy's house getting destroyed.
I don't know if it's a bit or not, but yeah, Amatsu has destroyed houses in the past.
Okay, cool, wonderful. Yeah, no, it's just a shame that guy's house getting destroyed. Right? Did you say it was a guy's house or a guy's island?
No. The guy's village.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
the
like more
village has been
than just his
destroyed
house.
before.
Like all his friends and family as well. Anyway,
How about that guy's wife? Is he all right?
Yeah, see, that's what I thought the bit was. That's what I thought the bit was.
I was getting there.
Yeah, I saw that coming from a mile
I was
away.
getting there. Yeah, I just don't think. I didn't stick the. Just like Redfall, I did not stick the landing.
Steve, like Redfall, puts his best foot forward.
Oh,
Go to jail. Do not receive it. Do not pass go. Do not receive $200.
No. Do not receive a refund for $125.
Be removed from Game Pass.
Anyway, so Animatsu, so you can fight Animatsu. That's basically the big reason why you want to play this update. And so Amatsu is an elder dragon that I've always struggled with. From the last one that I fought was in Monster Hunter Generations on 3DS, and that between a friend and I playing, it took us about 5 goes to eventually put it down because, man, it just puts up a fight. And it is really cool in some respects that it is in Sunbreak and it's kind of done up on sort of PC graphics because 3DS graphics aren't stellar for visual fidelity of monsters up close. A bunch of its moves are really sick. The whole fight takes place in, I'm pretty sure it is the not the Forlorn Arena. It's like I don't remember the map name, but it's like Fountain Spring Arena. It's basically and a specific area, but it really sort of makes it its own for this fight. And there's a few modifications to the original arena, and so there's a big cutscene that plays out at the start, and then you go in and see if you can take it down. I was able to take it down on my first try. Died once or twice, I think. But
skill issue.
But it's definitely the sort of thing that I can see it being designed to be fought as a group of 4. I'm not actually sure how it works if you initially start fighting it as a group of 4. It might not let you, because you are joined by a couple NPCs, like Master Utsushi just joins you for the hunt. That's just like how it plays out the first time. But then after that point, it becomes a quest like any others, and you can take any other NPCs with you that you want. So Amatsu's this big fight. Really, really cool fight. Really well done fight. It does something similar to Nawa the All-Mother, where you get far enough through the fight, and then a monster will come in and start it like a territory fight, and then you get you get the ability to ride it and then attack Amatsu with it.
Is it a Jaggy?
It is not a Jaggy. What was the first one? The first one was a
Probably Rathalos.
Okay, you just I like the spirit, Steve, but no. It wasn't either of those. No, the main one that has been coming down and assisting me has been Crimson Glow Valstrax, which is funnily enough also added in Sunbreak, at least with Master Rank stuff. Or was it Sunbreak? Anyway, also a DLC monster. The main one, shoot, let me just see. Sorry, I need to look this up because I can picture I can picture how it looks. I can't think of its name.
Yeah, I can't picture it either.
Not helping. Come on. Magnum Marlow. God damn. Yeah, Hellfire not Hellfire Magnum Marlow, regular Magnum Marlow, which makes sense.
How did you forget the title monster for Rise?
It's been so long since I've fought one. I've fought everything else just more recently. Anyway, yeah.
Did you get sick and tired of how big it was?
He really is too big, which is actually the only time I will say this. It's a benefit that he's so fucking big fighting an Amatsu. Otherwise, every other time, still too fucking big. But no, that was for the like Utsushi assisting you story first fight. Everyone since then, I'm pretty sure everyone since then has been Crimson Glow Valstrax, which is just, I don't know, sort of just interesting. So you do the Amatsu fight, you get a bunch of stuff being like, yes, you have killed an Amatsu. You can announce to everyone else in multiplayer lobbies that you fought an Amatsu. Woohoo. I, being the weird Monster Hunter player that I am, prided myself on collecting every armor set in Master Rank, and so this is no exception. Went and collected the armor set. Holy shit. It is probably the best armor set. Not as good as Fatalis in Iceborne, but a very, very good armor set. And so I have mixed that with a couple other pieces and cooked up my new absolute favorite Dualblade set. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to hit before I talk through the armor set, because that's really all I have to talk about for this. Nope, I think we're up to date on all of that. Yeah, cool. So, before this point, what was my main armor set? The main armor set was, I think it was a Risen variant. It was basically around switch skills. Switching scrolls.
Nintendo Switch?
No, definitely not that. Switching scrolls, which I really enjoy that they have introduced that as part of the Sunbreak update, but it's never felt supernatural to me because I feel obligated to use two different movesets across the different scrolls, and therefore it gets kind of weird wanting to like use a particular moveset, but knowing that a lot of the power comes from swapping between them, and so I don't know, it's never felt natural. And so the armor set was very good, but the armor set that I'm using now just blows it out of the water. So for starters, all up, an armor set in Master Rank Rise, a good endgame set, is roughly 800 defense. Ballpark, 800 defense. And full set of Amatsu armor is 900 defense. So already, pretty big step up. So let me talk you through the bricked up build that I now run. So I am a Dual Blades main, as of Rise and Sunbreak at least. Yep, exactly. Gotta announce my weebiness on a scale to the world every game I play. It is, we're just going to quickly jump through some skills. Evade Window 5, just a must on every set that I run, which funnily enough comes from a single, like the Amatsu headpiece gives you Evade 5, which is crazy to me. Stun Resistance 3, so never stunned. Hellfire Cloak 4. Why is that? Because I use explosive dual blades. Hellfire Cloak means that when a monster is enraged, I get Hellfire on my blades. I don't take any damage from it. It increases explosive damage. So the whole build will revolve around me not getting hit and pissing the monster off. Skipping over a few, increased blast attack, increased evade extender, all sort of expected pieces on this set. Good Luck 3, necessary just to get extra rewards because I'm not running Mighty Cap, whatever the extra carb one is. I can't be bothered running that because it's a high rank piece and it's just such a defense hit to run. So the main couple of skills I want to call out. The Amatsu skill set gives you, the Amatsu armor set gives you a new skill called Heaven Sent. Heaven Sent has up to 3 points. I don't know what level 1 and 2 do because I don't use them because level 3 is just the greatest. If you spend 15 seconds near the monster without getting knocked back, you get infinite stamina, infinite sharpness, increased attack, and increased defense. That is insanely good. And so that combined with evade...
That sounds a bit overpowered there, big fella.
Oh, it gets worse. And so that combined with evade 5 and evade 3 means it's really hard for me to get hit. And so on top of that, I blending the Amatsu pieces with a couple other pieces Also run Part Breaker 3, which means that I can damage a piece along with Exploit 1, so I basically just do a lot of damage to a monster part. When that part is broken, I have Blood Rite 2, so I can heal off of attacking it. And this is the beauty. I run Agitator 1, Embolden 1, and Defiance 3. What does all that mean for people that don't play Monster Hunter? People that do play Monster Hunter, when you run around, you're fighting a monster, sometimes the monster will get enraged. Now, Heaven Sent, already discussed, sec for 15 seconds, infinite stamina, infinite sharpness, excellent for dual blades, you can constantly sit in demon mode. When the monster gets enraged, Hellfire Cloak procs. Now I have extra blast damage on my dual blades from Hellfire Cloak. When the monster's enraged, I get Agitator, so therefore extra attack. When the monster's enraged, I get Embolden, Embolden increases the chances of a monster going into rage. And here's the best part. Defiance 3. When the monster's enraged, all small and large monster roars get nullified. So my entire shtick of this build is piss the monster off and then never die and never stop attacking. And oh my god, is it the most fun build I've ever used in maybe not the most fun in Monster Hunter of any game, but certainly the most fun build that I've used in Rise and Sunbreak. It is excellent. I've been doing end game multi-monster hunts that are definitely designed for more than one person, and I've been clearing them in 12 minutes solo. It's disgusting.
Far out. So how long did it take you to get all? Because I have played Monster Hunter before. I could call me something a bit of a monster myself sometimes. How long did it take you to get all the materials to craft all this high grade equipment?
So it took me an average of 20-ish to fight Amatsu, and I needed to fight Amatsu 5 times, I think. 5 or 6 times. It might have been a 6th time to get everything. So
it's about 6 hours then. Sorry, not 6, 2. Provided it takes you 20 minutes and you jump straight into another one.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so basically 2.5 hours of grinding for the greatest set I've ever used, which for me that's a pretty good trade. The Amatsu weapons, the dual blades aren't great. It's like high. They're high raw negative affinity weapons, which don't suit dual blades particularly well. But I'm sure there's some sets where it works really well on. But yeah, I'm absolutely in love with the set, and I as I mentioned, have now collected back to collecting every master rank armor set in the game, which I've now done. Now that all of the armor of Risen Shigaru Magala, which is a different set to regular Shigaru Magala, by the way. Fought him enough times to grab that full armor set, as well as the last thing that I did before Canada even was fighting Risen Crimson Glow Velstrax. And man, walking back into Crimson Glow Velstrax with this set, I'm not going to say piece of piss because he can instantly kill me and did a couple times, but way easier than fighting him before Canada. And a lot of that is just the crazy high defense.
Now that you have all the armor in Master Rank again, how accomplished do you feel with your time in Sunbreak?
Pretty accomplished. So that there's one other part to the update, which I will take me a while to get to, actually. I've talked about anomaly quests before and how Monster Hunter has made great strides to making anomaly quests more fun for solo players, because boy howdy, when Sunbreak first came out, they just seemed awful. And they, as part of this update, raised the cap of anomaly quest to 300 now. Now, my best, the one that I've grinded the most anomaly quest, is 97. So I have a full set of every master rank armor, but I now need to go back to, start almost grinding anomaly quests, because my weapons are not fully upgraded because I need anomaly bits, and they're also needed for the curio crafting, which was introduced 1 or 2 updates ago. The ability to sort of augment weapons and armor with extra skills, which super cool mechanic. Oh, they did actually add. They've given a new crafting class as part of this update as well, which I haven't used because it relies on anomaly bits, which as I said, I just don't have. But I think it's just a higher rarity pool for decorations, for charms. So that'll be interesting. I'm sure there are some absolutely wild endgame builds out there, and I really like my build, but the decorations that I'm using are Burst 3 and Wall Runner 3 on my decoration, and on my charm, sorry. And I really don't need the Wall Runner 3, so I'm sure there's an even better charm that I could put into my build. So how accomplished do I feel? Very. Will I continue playing Monster Hunter? Absolutely. Do I like this update? Absolutely. Do I still think that it's going to be some kind of Malzeno variant that's going to be the final monster in the final free update for, I think it was May? Shit, was it May or June? Either May or June.
It might be June.
I actually think it was June. I don't know. I think if they might just be skipping a month for May or something. I'm not sure. But I still reckon it's a Malzeno variant. I haven't seen any news to suggest otherwise yet. If there's news out, then oops, I'm just blind.
It might be May, and they might be doing a Capcom showcase in June to announce the next Monster Hunter.
It could be that. I don't know. But yeah, really, really happy with the update, as I've been with all of these. Capcom, excellent work as always. Minor gripe to the minorest of gripes to Capcom. When they announced the plushie weapon pack, which I think was December or January, a while ago now, I bought it as soon as it released. As soon as it released, I bought it because it looked awesome. I need another DLC pack like that to give Capcom money, because I have taken so many hours of free content from them, but none of the DLCs that they've released have just grabbed me as much as the...
Just buy the Ego Raptor voice pack.
You know what was annoying? They have a bunch of background music packs, and they have some for a bunch of different villages, but they don't have Poke Village music.
They know that's for us. That's just for us.
It is, but it's still I need it, you know? That's my roots, man. But yeah, that's all I want to cover with the Sunbreak update. Really, really enjoying it. Amatsu Fight is excellent. There might be some, actually, I'll final thing I'll say, there might be some people, a couple of friends who may or may not be listening to this, included in that, who think Sunbreak's nearly coming to the end of its life, and they have Monster Hunter Rise.
R.I.P. Sunbreak.
Yeah, it is. It is sad, but it'll get a good send-off, I think. The Fatalis Armor and Iceborne, I'm holding out for something like that, just because of how good Amatsu is, and Amatsu isn't even the final update. Oh, shit. Super quickly want to mention, the Amatsu armor for the Palamute is dope. He floats. The annoying thing with it is that even if you're riding the floating dog and you're running, there's still it's as if the animation still bangs the ground, so you get the dust clouds coming from where the feet would be heading, even though the feet are floating. It just looks kind of funny. I don't know, just something weird that I noticed. But there might be some people out there who have Monster Hunter Rise who think Sunbreak's coming to the end of life. Is it still worth playing? Yes, it is. 100%. But that's also coming from me, the most biased as fuck. Love everything Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's I've never seen a bigger shield in my entire life.
And you know what? I signed up for the Monster Hunter Now. Is it Monster Hunter Now? I think it is Monster Hunter Now.
Oh,
the closed beta.
Yeah, I also signed up for that. Yeah,
they've accepted some people in that already, and yeah, I haven't heard anything back yet.
Yeah, the next batch is mid-May. But all I'm saying is, come on, guys. Like, just look at my Steam playtime. I need this. The spiders, man, I'm telling you. Anyway, unless there's any final comment from either of you two, I think we can round out the Sunbreak chat.
Yeah, break the sun.
The sun is broken.
It's funny that you mentioned breaking like the sun, because just like the sun, it's time for our break, because we've finished Round the Lounge for this week. We get to move on to part 2, which is, of course, the news. And starting off, some news that should have been here last week, but somehow we didn't record for long enough, which I don't think is a sentence I ever want to hear uttered about how long we record for sometimes, but...
Especially for a 3-hour-long episode.
Yeah, especially for a 3-hour... It was not nice. Oh boy. Let me tell you. 69 nice, 70 not nice.
I liked it. I liked hanging out with you guys.
Just awful. An absolutely terrible episode we will never financially recover from. But Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, is going to come out August 25. I'm so excited for this. Who else is excited?
Super excited, actually. Like, I knew I was interested in Armored Core 6 when they announced it. Actually seeing what they're planning for the game and the gameplay trailer, actually more phenomenal than I thought it was going to be, just from watching it.
Yeah.
Have you guys played any of the Armored Core games?
I
I have not.
So this
interesting.
is I'm not going to call it a flex, but it's just one of those weird things of you remember back when you could rent video games from video stores?
Oh,
Yeah, I loved
I have a
that.
vague recollection of that.
Like the end of the PS2 life and the start of the PS3 life was full of video game rentals for me.
Exactly the same. So I don't remember what platform I played Armored Core 4 on, but I went into the video store wanting to rent something. I don't remember what it was that I was actually trying to get, but it was out of stock, and I was like, well, you know, it's hard enough to get mum to take me to the video store to rent a game in the first place. I'll pick something while I'm here. I'm not going to waste the opportunity. And so I picked out Armored Core 4 and I played that for the weekend, and I really enjoyed it. And I see a lot of what I remember of Armored Core 4 in this, but just done dialed way up, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, I've seen Armored Core before. It's something I've appreciated from a distance, just because they didn't have a PS4 and Xbox One game. They kind of stopped at the PS3 era right before all the Souls games started. So I'm just seeing this like skipping an entire gen is one thing, but that it looks like that Elden Ring budget is doing wonders for this game. Like all that money they made from Elden Ring going into this is doing them so many favors.
It reminds me a lot of. Do you guys watch Zoids back in the day on Nickelodeon?
Fucking loved Zoids.
We didn't have Nickelodeon. We were a poor family.
Absolutely loves Zoids. It was on. I'm pretty sure it was on Cheese TV over here for a little bit.
Couldn't afford GTV.
That was on free cable.
Couldn't
Free cable, he says. Get off the internet. Stop talking to Americans.
Not free cable, just free TV. My bad.
Stop taking. Do not bring American into this chat. This is a safe space for us Anzac.
I actually don't remember. Shit, was it Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network for us? Might have been Cartoon Network, actually.
I think it was actually Cartoon Network. I don't think it was on Cheese TV ever. Yu-Gi-Oh was.
Sure, we don't have Cheese TV here, but anyway, but yeah, absolutely loved Zoids, and that was part of why Armored Core always stuck with me. The whole sort of like mech suit fighting, and as you probably heard when I was asking Jim Ryan to ease the spiders in my veins with Pacific Rift remaster, I might have said Pacific Rim, which is yet another excellent mech-based media, well, film in that case. But yeah, super excited for Armored Core 6. There's a trailer up. Trailer looks awesome. Comes out August 25th. I can't wait. I don't really have much more to say.
I'm very excited as well. I get the feeling that my smart ass to me was like turning it down. I'm very excited.
They had a very expensive special edition where you got a mech and an even more expensive special edition where you got a little garage for that mech, and both looked amazing, but holy shit, the prices were insane for both of them. I don't think they're available anymore, so don't even bother looking them up.
You know what? Look them up. Just confirm. Steph's lying to you. He was just telling us in the break that he's got 500 pre-orders.
Here's the thing. Let's assume
I'm not meant to tell them. I'm scalping it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm telling you. I'm going to be inside your scalping.
You're inside his scalp.
It's going to cough on them. Give everybody COVID. Yeah.
Are you a head louse?
Lease?
Lace?
A heath lease?
A head lace.
I did like. Yeah, it's always someone that's got to bring up knit. Thanks, man. Moochie now.
Hey,
everybody, take a minute to scratch.
Don't come to school tomorrow. You might have nits.
Actually, no, you can come to school tomorrow.
Hey, you should get yourself checked.
In fact, let me headbutt you.
Yeah, true.
Hey, I've heard about getting head, but this is ridiculous.
Oh boy. Speaking of.
All right. Okay. You know what? Speaking of going off topic, that's it. I've thought of it, and we live by one rule in Fast Travel Lounge, and if Stephen thinks something, he says something.
I hate that rule.
So
I thought it was if we see something, say something, but it's audio only, so we're supposed to get you to shut the fuck up.
I've seen an idea in my head, so I will now. So let's say you're having sex with someone and they have nits. Is that like an orgy?
You went for nits and not crabs?
Nah, Crabs isn't funny, but nits are.
Crabs are an endangered species.
But yeah, cool.
Patrick, I'm cutting this out.
No, don't cut it. It's the funniest thing we've ever done.
Stephen, if this is the funniest thing you've ever done, I'm really worried about your next podcast, Fast Builders Lounge.
I know.
That's not funny, that's serious.
I know
but
that he's asking about.
there's nothing funny about construction.
I know that he's. This is just one big smoker break to you, isn't it? I know we talked about nets, but as soon as someone mentioned crabs, all I think of is Crab Rave. I just have that playing in my head now. Now it's in all your heads too.
Mr.
Congratulations. But while we wait for that to just go on and on and on, something that goes on for just as Wolong, some Wolong news. Fallen Dynasty shipments.
Whoa!
And, yeah, he does it again. How does he do it? We'll never know.
If you see something, say something. If you see an idea in your head, say
If
something.
I see the next piece of news we talk about it, I say a great segue to get there. But Wolong news, we have Fallen Dynasty shipments and digital sales topping 1 million.
And what's that other number? Because this article is really interesting to me because it kind of shows the effects of Game Pass have not the effects of Game Pass, but like kind of the splits you might see on a game that's day one Game Pass. And I don't feel like Wolong is a massive game for Game Pass either. So this is like a really big divide for something that isn't first party.
So the second number you're looking at there, Seth, it is a big number, so I'll walk you through it. It was 3.8 million. So do you have your fingers there? You got your little fingies ready?
I do have my fingies ready.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to count to 1. Yeah, you following? Yep.
Oh, fuck. Here we
yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Here we go.
I got
this
one.
is real funny.
Yep. 2.
This is great content. This is
Yeah.
fucking space.
2.
I'm not allowed to say my thing, but you're allowed to go with the bullshit.
Yeah, I got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4.
Instructions unclear. My dick's stuck in the fan.
Well, it would take us a while to get there, but we
Steph's allowed to
eventually going to count to
copyrighted
3.8
material
million.
like that, and I can't say the funniest thing I've ever said in my entire life. Yeah, cool. No. I think we should build a better community.
build a less toxic host.
But yeah, Wolong strikes me as a game where 1 million sales is actually really good for what the game is, and probably did make did profit just off that.
100%. Yeah.
I don't know, seeing that it got 3.8 million players, that's
I
a
can't
big
believe that
jump.
every person that bought it shared it with nearly 4 friends.
Yeah, it's, seriously, like this is almost a 1 in 4 people bought it situation. And that just kind of makes me think of like what the other sort of split on Game Pass games is, because they don't share these numbers really. This is like the first time a publisher and a studio has gone, yeah, so here's how many sales we got versus how many people played the game. And they're celebrating both of them. Both of them are great numbers. It's just like, wow, that's a big divide.
So the only thing I have with this, and it might be just because of the way that it's worded and that Microsoft wouldn't let them say some things. I wonder if that 3.8 million players included people that played the demo.
Surely not. Because they're counting shipments and sales. They're counting shipments and sales. I doubt that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know though but surely like really 1 in 4 people have bought the game. I don't know, man. That sounds.
Does that sound too high or too low to you?
Too high. Sorry, as in like I wouldn't have expected like 3.8 million players. That seems too high with a comparison of 1 million sold. But then at the same time, I'd be very interested because
also on this podcast, neither of us bought the game and played it.
Very cool. Yeah, it's true. There you go. But then at the same time, does those 3.8 million players include 1 million players copies that have been sold, or is it like an additional 3.8? It's.
Well, I think it would be weird if they said 3.8 million people have played it and another 1 million played it because of every person that bought it.
Well, I don't know. It's just weird wording.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I might be just like clutching at straws here and lurching at shadows that don't exist. But there's probably a lot of people on Game Pass that download a game, open it.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% believe a lot of this people being counted is open the game for an hour, got filtered by the first boss, turned it off, and never played again.
Filtered.
and we still count those as wins. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a horse in this race. They are making a big deal about how great that is, and great for them. That's all I have to say, really.
Yeah, happy for them. Like the 1 million sales is still a really good amount of sales.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Oh, 100%.
Do we reckon 1 million people will watch the Vampire Survivors animated series?
Fucking I will, just for the curiosity of it.
This is the next news article, by the way. It's not like a random tangent, just for those following at home.
How do you make an animated series out of Vampire Survivors? There's no story.
Exactly.
It's a parody of Castlevania with no story.
Imagine that the animated series is just someone like playing the game. Like that's all it is. It's just like a let's play for like I don't know, like 6 episodes. I mean, each runs 30 minutes, right? Literally just episodic content.
Hold on, let him cook.
No, that's it. The meal's done. It's well done.
I was hoping for a little more medium rare, but I'll take it.
Every one of my takes is rare. Every one of my takes is W. W stands for well done.
I thought it stood for Wombo.
Yeah, sometimes it does. Yeah, I guess I am excited, but I think I'm just confused mostly.
Yeah, I don't think Vampire Survivors is very heavy on the story unless there was a couple of lore books I missed.
I think literally the only piece of story is the game's like source description. Like they interchange some stuff out that replaces Dracula with something else, replaces Belmont with something else because they're very obviously parodying Castlevania, and that's about it.
I love that the founder Luca Galante. Gallant. Anyway,
Gallant E.
It's a dream come true to see what started as a little indie game I made on my weekends come to life as an animated TV show. Which that as a sentence is baller as fuck. But my favorite part is I do wonder if they've realized that there isn't a single vampire in Vampire Survivors though.
It should be good though. I'd be very interested. What I see in my head is this is like every episode is a different focus on like one of the heroes.
A different survivor?
And like how they use their weapon. Yeah, a different survivor if you would. And maybe even a different vampire survivor.
Ooh, wow. There we go. And then it rolls credits.
Yeah. Well, I'm just worried they might just do like a Vampire Survivors reality TV show.
Vampire Survivors Island.
Hold on, let him cook.
Hey.
Get Chris the host back.
Wait. I've got it. It's X on the beach, but with vampires.
Let him stop cooking.
Vampire Survivors.
Bro isn't cooking at all.
Yeah, no, you've literally uncooked me, big fella.
It's fucking raw. What about Total Drama Island, Vampire Survivors?
I thought that's what you were cooking before. Apparently not.
That was Survivors. Like the people on an actual island. Like Total Drama Island is a ripoff of Survivor.
I don't know, but I thought your first ripoff of an island one was supposed to be for Total Drama Island.
Oh man, we are getting so meta because Survivors is a ripoff and Total Drama Island's a ripoff, but Vampire Survivors is also. Oh boy, that's a lot of rips. Rip those following at home. But don't worry because Patrick's gonna fuck something here. Fuck. No, it's Forspoken DLC. I got nothing. I'm sorry. I got nothing. It's Forspoken.
Everyone trying to laugh at the dead studio.
Jesus.
Seth coming out swinging. You want to follow up on that, big fella?
No, because the moment I finished that sentence, I started coughing.
No, but we'll wait.
We just sit here in silence. Yeah,
you can cut that out in post, can't you, big fella?
There's a.
No, speak at the same time.
Just you know what? Have the conversation.
Favorite.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You know what? All right, I'll sit here quietly. You two talk. You tell me when you're good. All right.
I was about to start talking because it sounded like Steven really wanted my input on this. But yeah, the Forspoken DLC finally got a trailer. It's coming out May 26th, and that is literally all you need to go know about it because it's Forspoken, and no one's going to give this any time of day.
Truly, the Redfall of PlayStation.
It's even worse because you can't play it for free on Game Pass.
Hell no. You piss Station 5 gamers.
Actually, I will say one thing, and that's they ruined Faye's design because they replaced her cape with a bandana, and the cape is so much better than that. So even the DLC is making this game worse somehow.
Are we good? Can I come back into the conversation?
No.
Oh.
I don't know, can you?
I've been sitting slightly off mic with fingers in my ears, yelling la 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 at the top of my lungs. So hopefully the mic doesn't pick that up.
You may come back in now,
just let me know.
Patrick.
Oh, can I?
You may. Whether you can is up to you.
Oh my fuck. Okay. Well. All right. Well, in the same vein, and wow.
The same vein, even.
In the same vein. All right. We have a platformer that may be entirely embroidering its character art. Hang on. Fuck. Have I fucked that up? It can. It can and it is, but it may. You know what? Fuck you, Seth. This next piece, it's kind of interesting. So, Windswept platformer is going to have entirely embroidered character art. There's like a little demo-y 5-second animation showing that. To be honest, I mean, cool tech, because it's not often that you see something done like that, and stylistically, it might really help tell the story. But whether or not it needs to be embroidered character art, like if that's the point of difference that's going to make me play this over other games, I don't know. It's not. It seems like it's catering to a niche.
I think it's just like it's one of those science things where just because we can doesn't mean we should have. Like this is longer process than hand drawing something.
I think for the sake of the art of it, it's really interesting to see it because Cuphead also went for the old timey elasticy cartoon era, and they like hand drew everything for that game, making the sprite sheets for that, and it took a long time, but the effort was well worth it. So we got to see for this game. The game, by the way, is called Scarlet Deer Inn.
Jinx, got me a Coke. Oh, Xbox is trending.
Under a Roof Rebound, back to you.
He's got you there.
No.
You can't just know the Jinx.
Oh, Seth's gonna punch you when he sees you next.
Unless he gives me a Coke.
I think. Well, unless you say his name. I think there is a slight difference between this and Cuphead. The elasticy animation is sort of nostalgic of media, if you know what I mean. Like embroidering is such a different. What am I trying to say? Like, to embroider something is not traditionally part of media at all, whereas the elasticy old-timey animations has been. So I think there's more of a link to wanting to kind of reminisce or bring back an old technique in current gen media, whereas embroidering, to my understanding, maybe there is something out there that I'm missing, has never been part of how we tell stories, like on like in like a moving format.
I feel like there might be some small independent or indie film that was done in embroidery animation that might be at like very few fan film awards sort of thing. But yeah, it's not something that was like massively mainstream like the elastic cartoons were.
Exactly. Cuphead definitely has more appeal. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this goes. If it goes well, excellent. But yeah, I'm appreciating it for what it's trying to do. I just don't know if this will be enough to make me take interest.
I know. I'm going to keep an eye on it specifically for this this art style that they're going to go for. But whether it's a game that I'll play myself will depend on what the game is itself, I guess.
Yeah. Watch them get an AI to do it.
I hate that so much. Watch an AI fuck up embroidery.
Yeah, it's yeah. I get the feeling this game is sort of, and I don't want to mean this in a mean way, but it probably is getting a lot of attention just because of its art style. Well, not even its art style, just because of the way the animation's going.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not sure if that's enough to hold up, but I don't want to write it off. I'm, let it cook, as the kids say.
Yeah. Okay. Play on.
Something that I think is really well done is actually, yeah, no, we'll roll with that. Something that I think is really well done. Chrono Odyssey. Oh boy. Unreal Engine 5 really hits different, huh?
I'm just going to say, this looks like a fake video game to me. Like, there's so many different art styles and world layers and inspirations going on in here that I can't pin down what this game is supposed to be besides action MMO. And that's it.
Yeah, that's all. Look, the trailer, I highly recommend everybody do look at the trailer. The trailer is obviously designed.
We should point out that this is Chrono Odyssey specifically, an MMORPG by NPixel.
Very, very true. Okay, very true.
I'm just contextualizing because go look at the trailer. The trailer for what?
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, no. Simply read my mind, viewers at home, but not after the podcast. Only during the podcast. It does look very good. Like, there is obviously an element of spectacle to it because there's no HUD, there's no menus that are shown. It's just the world, and it's a character running through the world, and then there's some combat. It is very manufactured, but looks pretty good. It reminds me a lot of that. What's that weird Korean MMO?
Black Desert.
Seth, help me out. That's it. Black Desert. Fucking knew you'd get it.
How the?
Wow.
That's shit. Maybe
There's like
can just read
there's
your
like
mind.
200. There's like 200 Korean MMOs, and I knew the exact one he was going for because of
That's
the
what
art
I'm saying.
style.
You know what? Future
Yeah.
Seth, cut out me mentioning the trailer. If Seth can read Steve's mind, anyone can fucking do it. So
Don't know
Is
what you
is
mean by
that
that.
is that a compliment to me or a attack on Steven?
I think it's a bit of both.
read him like a book. I am not normally one for MMO RPGs, but this one,
Morbs.
Except for the award-winning Final Fantasy 14 that I talk about every week, right? I sold you guys on that one, right?
yeah, definitely, yeah. No, I'm waiting for the license key to arrive by mail. They were so popular that I couldn't buy it. You know, like last time. It's coming though, Seb. It's coming. Trust me. My uncle
I
works
trust
at
you. I
me
trust you. My host would
buying
never
my
lie to
license.
me.
No. Yeah, I really like a lot of what this game appears to be doing. I agree with both of you in that what we saw was kind of playing out as more of like a trailery video than what the game actually is. But what I'm shocked at is that they previously announced that there'd be a version of this on iOS and Android.
No, they fucking won't. What gets me on this is like how many different like landscapes and inspirations come in. Like, you start off with like this weird sci-fi alien demon sort of thing. Like, there's a specific movie or game that has this like really Ripley statue demon look, and I can't put my finger on it. Maybe someone in the comments will, or one of you guys will figure it out as I'm going on this tirade. But then it instantly cuts from that to like a medieval fantasy, and then from that it goes to like ancient Chinese ruins, and then not Chinese, like Middle
hold on,
Eastern ruins.
Yeah, how do we know they're Chinese?
Yeah, that's why I'm going more Middle Eastern because of like the elephant on the front of it. And then from there we go to like Warhammer inspired like space Pope sort of space Pope cathedrals, and it's like it's all over the place. There's some enemies that is inspired by Kitsune, then there's other more traditional dragons, and then there's weird alien dragon hybrids. It's all over the place. There's no one unifying vision for this.
Well, the one unifying vision is that it's in Unreal 5 and therefore looks absolutely fucking gorgeous. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's one that I certainly have my eye on now. Next up, going from things that are gorgeous to things that are bloody
Gorge
gorgeous.
non. Gorge non, maybe?
Minimal?
Minimal. Pretend that I said something clever, and then we'll just pick it up.
We usually do.
that cut me way more than it should have, I think. We have a teaser trailer for Mortal Kombat 12. how does the trailer end, Steve?
Look, I'll be honest with you, big fellas. Haven't seen it. It's not really a
You're
trailer.
better off
It's
for
like,
it.
yeah, I read the article. It does look like it's them like, oh yeah, we're really doing it. Are you going to show it to us? No, but trust us, bro. I'm like, cool. You're doing it though. Like, show us something. It's just them telling us they're doing it. There is like a weird thing at the end where sand explodes, but at the same time, I don't care for that. I'm not sure if it's like a
but at the same time, I
Bang.
don't care for that. The sand exploding or like the lack of info.
All of these. It's a weird trailer. It doesn't do anything. They've said that it's going to release this year. I'm like, okay, cool. They're obviously trying to not get in the way of Tekken or Street Fighter, so which is sort of smart from their point of view. But then why do this kind of stuff?
What do you mean? It's the Redfall approach. It's completely hands off, and we'll see it in 6 months, and it'll either be really great or it won't.
Well, the Redfall approach is for it to not do well, and I like Mortal Kombat.
My favorite thing around this entire situation of the Mortal Kombat 12 trailer is that so many people online are speculating like, oh man, this hourglass thing is like some weird foreshadowy like symbolic version that they're going to do another reboot for the series, and it's like, guys,
They just did one.
Guys, come on. They literally ended the last game saying, yeah, we're going to reboot the series because we fucked up at the end of Mortal Kombat 9 by killing everyone. We literally do not know what we were supposed to do after we killed the entire cast and did a 20-year time skip. So we kind of fucked ourselves over there. We're rebooting everything, and Mortal Kombat 12, I guess.
Would you say let them cook?
I don't know, because honestly, I feel like that the Mortal Kombat developers hate the Mortal Kombat story.
Yeah, well, it's a fighting game.
Yes, the
Fighting games are exactly
Nintendo
known for their
approach to
story.
fans.
They're very adamant about hating Liu Kang, and I feel like they rebooted the game once and then they killed everyone at the end of Mortal Kombat 9 and put themselves into that weird situation, and I think they hate what Mortal Kombat became after that, but they also hate what Mortal Kombat became during the PS2 era that led to the first reboot, and it's like, I don't think these guys actually enjoy the story. They just enjoy the characters in this place sometimes.
Which is funny because half of that trailer was them saying thank you.
Thank you for the support, guys. We hate this.
Every day existence is pain. We wait for it to end.
Really wish we were working on Injustice 3 right now.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't really have much more to say on this. Mortal Kombat is fun, every so often, but it's not the sort of game that I hold out particularly high hopes of being blown away by, but that's all I have to say about that. Any final thoughts from you two, or do we move on?
I hope I can look forward to the story, because I really liked the story in Mortal Kombat 9 until the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, cool. What are your thoughts on getting... Fuck, I'm trying to find a way to like cram the comic book stuff. So Spider-Man 2 is getting a prequel comic book. What are your thoughts on reading a comic book that you really enjoy up until the last 5 minutes before it ties into a game?
I really hope that they change Peter Parker's face, because that redesigned face for the remaster was really bad.
Okay, so other than making snap judgments about people's appearances, any other thoughts?
I don't know how important this is going to be. I'm kind of ambivalent towards it. Comic book tie-ins to bridge the game to the sequel. They never really work out well, and it feels like they use it as a way to ignore story beats, like what Infamous did between 1 and 2. But I don't know. I'll still give it a read anyway.
What if
we see a review?
What if they
maybe?
What if they do a the killing of Sonic the Hedgehog, but it's the killing of Spider-Man, and they actually just kill him before Spider-Man 2?
That'd be really weird, because a lot of people have already seen Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2.
No, I'm not talking about the Tobey Maguire films.
No, I know. They already showed that Spider-Man was going to be in Spider-Man 2, so it'd be really weird if they killed him off and then
Bait and
he
switch.
came back somehow.
Fake news.
It's Ben Reilly.
Don't know who that is.
That's the clone of Peter Parker.
automatically more comic book knowledge than the two of us put together.
I'm sure
I
he is.
think he becomes a Scarlet Spider or something along those lines after he gets his own identity.
Wow, so
Yeah,
what was
maybe-
Black Widow
maybe
taken?
we-
They had to go
maybe-
with Scarlet Spider?
Maybe
Yes,
we just go
actually.
on to the next news article, eh?
Okay, Steve, yeah, go on.
All right. Speaking of things that make a lot of money, Sony has confirmed that they will be making more
okay.
PC
No, let's-
ports
let's
of their
just-
He
let's
games.
just skip
completely
over-
skipped an article.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Did
yeah.
I? Well, we're doing this one.
You-
There was no-
Patrick,
there's no
Patrick,
differentiation between the two.
take control again.
I love that he says, "Are we doing this one?" and then nothing happens.
I'm doing this
Yeah,
one.
good. Yes, audio only podcasts really serve well when someone says, "Is it this one?" and then silence.
Well, you guys can see my cursor in the dock.
No, I can't. I don't have the doc open. I'm reading the news
You're a fucking
articles.
idiot then.
Yeah, imagine needing the dock open.
You know what? I'm gonna dock myself.
Add an X to that, and then we got a real party.
You know what? That's it. I'm doing the podcast from my bathtub. The laptop will be joining me in the bathtub,
Along with
That's
the
not a
toaster and
toaster.
some water. Yeah.
and my Xbox Series X fridge.
Oh, that is the toaster. My bad. Boom, got him. No, what Steve meant to say, sorry for the technical difficulty there, is that Marvel Spider-Man is getting a remastered PS5 standalone release launching in May, which they're doing it in the way that I like, which is that if you've never played Spider-Man before, it's available at at the price, but if you have played it and you just want the remaster, they just give you a nice upgrade pathway. I think that's really smart.
About fucking time they did this, because the only way you could get it beforehand was by buying the, I guess, complete edition of Miles Morales on PS5, and that was basically just Miles Morales bundled with the remaster. So I technically have it from that, but it's weird that they never gave a standalone release or an upgrade version for people that own the PS4 for game until right this instant.
Probably the people that have bought a PS5 when it was released or upgraded probably already had it. I don't know. It is very strange. You are right. Sony does like their money.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where the remaster has existed since the PS5 came out. It's just you couldn't get it unless you bought the expensive edition of Miles Morales. So I'm glad they're finally doing it for real for like people that don't want to get Miles Morales or already have the game on PS4 and can upgrade it on PS5 now.
That's what I was going to ask. What if, because wasn't Spider-Man one of the come join PS Plus, we have Blackjack and Hookers titles?
No, it wasn't.
Ah, okay, never mind. I don't really have anything more to add to that. Basically mirroring what you said. Glad that people can upgrade to it.
Cool. I'm also glad people can upgrade it. Will this make me buy a PS5? No.
What will make you buy a PS5? Does
I
that just suck your
was
dick?
going to say, man shits on Redfall, the only thing Xbox has had in an otherwise dry spell of literal years.
There's Hi-Fi
other than
Rush, there's
Hi-Fi Rush.
Grounded, there's
And he's
Forza
like, you know what?
Horizon.
I'd still prefer this toaster, which might kill me in a bathtub later, to a PS5.
I don't know. Final Fantasy 16 is swaying me. Like, my rule is there needs to be 4 games out before I buy the new console that are exclusive to it. Realistically, the only thing I'm really interested in is Final Fantasy 16, which isn't out yet, and help me out here. Spider-Man, and sort of God of War to an extent. Yeah.
Well, you've
Yeah,
named
no, that's-
2
no,
games.
that's 3. That's 3.
That's
No,
3
that's 3. What are you
games.
talking
There we
about?
go, 4. Yeah, you just named 4
Yeah,
games.
Spider-Man. That's 1.
You said Spider-Man.
No,
2.
there's only 3 games. No,
I
I've
don't know
only
what side you're
picked 3
arguing for.
games
What do
I
you mean there's
want
only
for
3
the
games?
PlayStation 5. But I want there to be 4 games before I actually bite the bullet and get the console. No, but
aren't there 2
I've
Spider-Man
already played
games,
the
or am
first
I
one. I'm thinking
crazy?
about Miles Morales. Sorry, I should have been more clear about that.
Oh, okay. Now we're back. Now we're back in sync. There we go. Do you want to try doing the next article again? Now that it's actually at the correct point.
Nah, you can. I've learned my lesson.
See, I don't believe you.
I've learned my lesson for this episode.
Yeah, there we go. Sony decides that money is good, and therefore games should go to PC, which, fair enough. Base PC Master Race gamers rejoice everywhere. They've published some of the numbers. These are fucked. These are fucking crazy numbers. So, 2021, they were ballparking 300 to 400 million per quarter for 2021. And then it just blew up in 2022. Like 443 million, 400 million, 600 million, and then $1 billion Q4 for 2022.
And they still fucking wanted to block the Activision Blizzard merger. Sorry, Activision Xbox merger. How funny, strange. How fucking strange. Well, they are good numbers.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's be real. They would need 78 times that to get the old equivalent to the merger.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm very interested to see how many what the ratio is. People that have already bought those games, played them a couple of years ago, and have like
rebought them on PC.
Yeah, rebought them on the PC. So essentially double dipping, which it still works out probably even better for them. But are they bringing new people into the fold? Which they would be, but.
Oh, no, they're definitely bringing new people. I'd almost think that most of them are new people because a lot of the games, because I think they list a bunch of them. Where are we here? Yeah, okay, so releases on Steam. Okay, so this is 2022 specifically, but Spider-Man, Sackboy, Big Adventure, Miles Morales, Returnal, Last of Us Part 1.
And God of War was at some point that year as well.
January.
Yeah, I was thinking, let's not count Last of Us Part 1 as doing some heavy lifting as part of those numbers because oh boy, that's still in a shit state. I think
it did numbers. It's just oh boy, that was a shit state.
Fucking every post from Naughty Dog being like super excited to share the experience with you guys, and everyone's like, is this the experience? This one here, Mr. Joel the Eyebrows.
I think they took that off Steam Deck compatibility list as soon as that glitch showed up.
See, part of me thinks because it's already there, you just own it. You're just like, yeah, this is Joel. Anyway, but the point that I was trying to make is that most of those games are fairly single-player experience-focused games. I don't know how many people would double dip playing those sorts of games on like PlayStation and then going, I really enjoyed playing that experience. I'm going to do it again on PC.
You'd be surprised how many people double dip even for single player games. Like just mod support alone will interest a lot of people to double dip.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, mods is a good shout. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, to hit a fucking $1 billion on PC from those games is kind of nuts. So yeah, Sony intends to continue doing that.
I don't blame them. If the strategy is working out for them, then go for it.
Yeah, definitely should not let the Activision Blizzard merger happen though, just because that's funny.
That's not funny. Funny at all, actually.
It's funny for me. Something that I can now share in pain in X-Pros being on live support. I too am on live support when talking about Titanfall 2, and that's because some hang on, where are we here? Chat. Okay, no, it was just during a chat. I was going to say some legend went out of their way to hurt me by asking Respawn's CEO, "Hey, where Titanfall 3?" And he said, "I would love to see it happen." Is the real answer. Which, I mean, that hurts. I'm already down. I'm already doubled over.
Would love to see it happen. We're not going to do it right now, but we would love to see it happen. Just like every time Naughty Dog is asked about Jak and Daxter.
Oh, you know what? We're just so busy fucking a PC port of Last of Us 1, but, you know, we might get to it eventually.
I want to go on and say that he also said it has to be the right thing. It has to be the right time. Motherfucker, it is always the right time for a new Titanfall game.
True. Well, I mean, hang on. Are we saying that on the announcement of a new Battlefield is always when this is the right time for a Titanfall game?
That's especially the right time to do a new announcement for a Titanfall game.
That's how you know it's going to be a good one too. When it gets absolutely cucked in sales, you know it's one of the best. Oh man. Yeah, this always hurts. And I'm pretty sure I've said this the last 2 or 3 Titanfall 2 news pieces running, but God, I need to go back and play Titanfall 2. And to anyone that hasn't, it's probably only like $1 or $2 on, I would say on Steam, but realistically it's on EA, whatever they call their app now.
I think it's still on Steam as well,
baby.
No. But I'm saying but buying it on Steam just gives you the key
right,
for
yeah. The same thing that the Jedi's
Origin,
games
whatever they call
did.
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, go buy it. It's cheap. It's fantastic. Multiplayer is, I assume, dead in the water. Maybe people still play the multiplayer.
I think it might still be down, actually, because of the server hack.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, it was that.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't get rid of anything. They got hacked.
Anyway, single player more than enough. Single player excellent. Single player top tier. Yeah, I'm sad. I want to move on. Final thoughts from you, Seth?
Just give us Titanfall 3 already. Come on, EA. You know you can make so much money off it. You know people are begging for it. You never give people what they want.
They go out of their way to make sure that they don't give people what they want. Speaking of going out of the way to make sure people don't get what they want, Jedi Survivor performance. This has had a let's call it a rocky launch.
Yeah, it's the same type of launch that Anakin did to the younglings.
Aerial rave combos.
I forgot about that. That's such a good callback. Yeah, this game had a bit of a red fall from grace, one might say.
Aha, he does it again.
Oh, I can't stop winning, which is funny because EA definitely did. What I like about this is that they basically came out. They were like, "Hey, we know there are some issues, but we think it's your fault, but we're working on fixing them."
Wait.
And I
if
love
your
that the article,
CPU or GPU is too strong, have you thought about not?
yeah. There's a comment in here that just fucking is perfect. Yeah, result on launch day was mostly negative. There's a great comment. Yeah, here we go. YouTuber Nick930. You're using a Windows 10 and an i90 10900K. No wonder our game runs at 30 FPS on your PC with a 4090. Oh, okay, I guess I need to upgrade then.
Yeah, it is probably an ultimate gaslight.
It is the biggest gaslight I've ever seen. It is a bigger gaslight than the Cyberpunk anime.
Stop calling that a gaslight.
That's some lit gas. What I find interesting about this is I think that they are probably right in terms, like, they came out and they said, like, hey, there's no easy fixes here because we think it's specification across different groups as the issue. But I guess the bit that I don't fully understand is, like, you're a game developer. This can't have been a shock. Like, it's not like this wouldn't have been tested across different systems, right?
Look, it's what I don't know. Like, maybe they just assume that nobody will have a high-end GPU or something like that. Like, they're gaslighting you. Like,
but I guess the bit that rubs me the wrong way is that it seems like it's consistent performance issues across the board. It's not like
the game's actually just CPU bottlenecking. Like, it stops at a certain level.
It seems weird to, like, I would believe, right? I would believe if they release it and they say, hey, it runs really well on like 80% of system configurations, but we know it absolutely tanks the last 20. These are configurations we didn't expect. They didn't come up in testing, yada, 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 we're working on a fix. But it seems like anything that isn't the highest end, like CPU and GPU together, causes issues. And it's just weird that, like, I'm sure this would have had to come up in testing somewhere, and someone would have raised it as like a, hey, this could bite us if it gets released like this.
Do you think it did actually come up in testing? And because remember, this game was delayed for 6 weeks for bug fixes. Do you think this was one of the things that was on the list to be fixed and just EA didn't give them the time to delay it anymore?
I have to assume that, like, giving them the benefit of the doubt, yes, and that it's easy to blame this on an upper management thing. But yeah, it's just weird that it seems like this is so poorly running across the board.
You're my honest opinion. The false flag operation that the conspiracy theory had. This is actually a conspiracy theory from Google to push people to watching playthroughs on YouTube instead of buying the game.
Well, what's actually happening is that this is a conspiracy theory by big NVIDIA because ray tracing in this game is turned on by default and cannot be turned off. So, yeah, that's just a thing that you've got to deal with on consoles and PC.
Simply, if you don't want ray tracing, simply upgrade. You don't want the game to look good, Seth? You want it to look shit? Yeah, all right. Go back to playing Minecraft.
Yeah, you're right. I want my games done cheaper, looking worse, made with smaller teams, with being paid more.
I don't.
And I am not kidding.
I don't. It do be like that sometimes. All right, then. Good chat.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Speaking of things that do be like, Pokemon has a new totally digital trading card platform, which do be like the old one, but the old one's being retired. It's being sent to the farm. It's going the way of the old Maxis games, but it's not being shot by EA. It's being shot by
the way of the Lapras before it was saved in Gen 6.
You know what? Now I'm thinking of Pokemon X and Y, where someone goes and catches a shiny Lapras and then surfs on it, and it's the regular sprite, and then he cries.
Yeah, that's not a good one at all.
That fucking hurt me.
Yeah, it do be like that though.
It do. Have either of you played the like digital trading card game?
I have not.
No, I don't know how to play the Pokemon trading card game at all.
That's actually kind of shocking to hear. I have a friend and I used to play games on it every so often. It was quite fun. We what my two brothers and I did for one summer was we put, how much was it? I think it was like $40, $40 or $50 together over a summer. Once we were all done with school for the summer, and we all went to the local like card shop place and just dropped like $40 or $50 on packs and just built a bunch of Pokemon decks out of it and just played that all summer, and it was really fun.
Okay, I'm glad you like that.
And what was cool was that you could put in the I don't know, the serial number or something for the booster packs that you bought, and then you'd get the same cards on the trading card game. And so we just built the same decks online, and then, you know, much easier to get other cards when you're playing the online version because it doesn't cost, well, you can spend real dollary dues on it, I assume, but you just get other cards by playing. And so, yeah, we did that for a bit longer. Haven't touched any Pokemon trading card game in, wow, might even be 10 years at this point.
Yeah, and the Pokemon trading card game has that weird thing where like cards expire. Sorry, not cards.
Yeah,
sets
right.
expire, which is fucking frustrating as shit.
Sets rotate in and out. Yeah,
I can sort of understand from like a metagame point of view, but then at the same time, imagine spending like $800 on a deck. You play 2 tournaments, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you're being rotated out. Build another deck.
I was interested in seeing, because they always play the trading card game and the what would you call the other one? Like the DS game that doesn't really work.
It was a Game Boy Color game.
Trading card game and the what?
It was a Game Boy Color game. You talking about Pokemon trading card game?
No. I'm saying like at tournaments they always play the trading card game and what would you call the 3DS or the Switch games?
VGC, Video Game Championship.
VGC, yeah, thank you. Yeah. I was fucking mind blank.
Yeah, I didn't know
they always do.
About,
yeah, no, they always do TCG and VGC at the same time in tournaments. And so I looked at the stream for one of the TCG. It wasn't the grand finals, but it was like, I don't know, like quarters or semis or something. And holy shit, it's just like, I think there was just like 3 copies of the same card on both sides of the table. or something. And it was just like, God, this is such a mess to look at. Because I'm certain there was some meta at that tournament that I was watching where every player was just running the same deck. I don't remember what was in it though, but yeah, and then there's all the weird like EX burst and I want to say sideways summoning, but that's not what it is. But yeah, trading card game. It was much simpler when I played it 10 years ago. I don't know what it's like now. But any interest in playing and checking out the new platform? Either of you?
Nah, not really.
Yeah,
I sort of do want to get into the Pokemon TCG, but I've already been taken over by the Pokemon VGC. I simply do not.
Fair. Yusuf? Yeah, cool. And finally, this week, we have Nintendo attending Gamescom 2023.
Are we really surprised about this?
No.
Are we surprised Gamescom's going ahead is more of the question that I want to ask.
Yeah, honestly, that's the biggest surprise. I mean, with
Nintendo skipped out on Gamescom last year, which is why I'm a little surprised by it.
Yeah, but then everyone skipped out on E3 this year.
Well, E3 skipped out on us.
Yeah, E3 decided it didn't want anything to do with us anymore.
Oh, no, but that's because everyone skipped out on it, though, right? Like, E3 would still be a thing if Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo were like, yeah, we'll attend.
Yeah, you're actually right about that.
It'd be interesting, like they say they're going to attend, but is it just going to like, oh yeah, hey, here we are. Oh, by the way,
they're going to announce the Switch.
There is no Switch.
They walk up on stage. They walk up on stage. Watch the Super Mario movie, and then they walk off again.
We made $2 billion at this point. Watch it some more.
It's not in the news docket, but if you do want to watch a Mario movie, literally just type it into Twitter. It's there
on Twitter.
They keep taking down accounts over that, but people keep coming back up to put it back up.
Oh, what's this? I thought Elon was pro free speech.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought
Nintendo money over free speech. Nintendo money is more valuable than free speech.
Nintendo has $1 billion.
Yeah.
Do they really care?
Tell that to that Bowser kid.
Yeah, actually.
I'm glad he went to jail.
Side point, just because I'm loosely attached to making sure that movies go well. The Super Mario movie has made $1 billion. Wahoo!
And how much of that do you see? Will you get a check in the mail?
$500 million.
Yeah, it's a cool $500 million in my pocket.
Yeah. Finally, a podcast house.
I see.
You've heard of streaming houses.
None of that.
Move over streaming houses. I can build us a podcast house. Hang on a minute, fellas.
Oh, there we go.
I'm building.
I would say let him cook. I've tasted the cooking. It's absolute ass. Actually, ass would be an improvement.
Eat my ass.
What is interesting about this to me is that it's made $1 billion, but of the other films that have also been up around the $1 billion mark, I think this has been the cheapest to make of the ones recently. I could be wrong on that. I think Top Gun Maverick had a higher budget and Avatar 2 had a higher budget.
It would not surprise me if this was really on the cheap end to make, honestly.
Oh, well, I mean, this had a budget of $100 million, so it's not like it was on the cheap end, but it was more just cheaper than other $1 billion plus heavyweights. Anyway, weird movie trivia. We move on. Yeah, any final thoughts on the Gamescom stuff?
I'm looking forward to Gamescom.
I'm excited for the Switch.
Christmas. There is no Switch. Oh yeah, but someone said it was going to leak. Yeah, they've been saying that for 4 years, man.
It's coming, bro. Trust me.
Just like it's going to release with Tears of the Kingdom.
They got to replace the Switch sometime.
Tears of the Kingdom is actually tears of Nintendo fans when they realize that the Switch is coming out.
Look, when the Switch isn't powerful enough to run Hoyoverse games, they really need to upgrade to jump onto that bandwagon.
I don't think they see that much of the profits. Interesting, and we don't have it here as well.
So Sony actually makes a lot of money off the Hoyoverse games just being on PlayStation.
Isn't that just because of the way the gacha mechanic works with giving Hoyoverse money on a Sony platform? Sony gets a very fucking decent cut of that.
Like 30%, yeah, and Nintendo would make the same cut if they had it on their system.
For the Xbox bros. But we didn't put it here as well.
They actually said no to the Hoyoverse games. They got offered Genshin and...
You got sauce on that, big fella?
I'll have to find it, but...
You should be the one with the sauce.
All right, give me 1 second.
Oh, while Steph's talking about that, I just want to... It's not on the docket, but I'll bring it up anyway. That Tears of the Kingdom has already leaked online. So when you're building something... Speaking of building, actually, Tears of the Kingdom, this building and that. But anyway, yeah, so be careful out there, fellas and Sheilas, if you are looking for Tears of the Kingdom. I don't want to say spoilers, because if you're hunting for it, you're going to find that. But just be careful online, because people are posting literally just the final scene of the game. It's very interesting that it's, like 2 weeks before it released, and it's already leaked online. And I don't know why it's such a fucking Nintendo games always get leaked. Like the Switch games got leaked online. Oh, sorry, the Pokemon games got leaked online.
The Switch got leaked online.
Yeah, that didn't exist. You
That's
never
the
like
leak.
yeah, maybe
So it is on GameSpot. It is from an anonymous source, unfortunately. But they said that Xbox spoke to MiHoYo about having Genshin Impacts really early in development, but they didn't reach a deal in time, and it's something that Microsoft regrets at this point.
Yeah, that's what them saying. No, they're saying, oh yeah, let's try to hash out the details. And then the details just didn't go through. Like, and then
which means that at some point Microsoft had to decline.
Yeah. Imagine Microsoft looking at their absolute stellar AAA lineup, including such bangers as Redfall, and then going, you know what?
Such bangers as Forza Horizon 4, Grounded, Pentiment.
Hey, all I'm saying is there's a
Expos, I don't feel so good.
All I'm saying is, Steve, that once you finish cooking, there's a cute candlelit dinner waiting for you in the bathroom between you, the bath, and that toaster of an Xbox Series X or S, whatever the fuck you have.
The Series X. I do have a bunch of 360 and Xbox One games I got to play. I simply bought the new generation to embrace the old generation.
Didn't you give Josh a shit for doing that exact thing?
Yeah, but it's Josh. It's funny.
I'm pretty sure I said. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said. Embrace the old, reject the new. That's what I said.
Embrace tradition, reject
you Mr.
modernity.
Old bad's new good.
My favorite part was when you both spoke at the same time. I think someone said something about a Joe Dirt DVD, but yeah, sure, I'm on board with that.
No, I said you live the mantra: embrace tradition, reject modernity.
Reject Ligma.
Stay away from Slugma.
Who's Steve Jobs?
Someone out there is laughing at that, and no one else knows why.
If you laughed at that, write into us.
I don't know. Is there a follow-up? It sounded like you were going to follow up with something.
No. I just said write into us.
How can they write into us?
Things. Every fuck, you got me this last week, so I really don't learn. So you can email us at fasttravellounge@gmail.com, at Facebook at Fast Travel Lounge, and then on Twitter, Fast Travel Lounge, missing one of the L's, because it seems like Pat is taking for losing his hosting privileges.
Yeah, fair.
So once again, thank you very much for listening.
Overstepping the mark there.
Right.
But no, we are at the end of episode 71. I don't have anything to tease for 72. Anything from you guys?
I hope I'm not deathly sick next week.
I hope you are deathly sick. I'm praying for your end.
You know what? I'm coming to give you COVID in Minecraft.
I'm so glad you said in Minecraft, otherwise that would be perceived as a threat.
Yeah, it's awfully funny.
We don't threaten each other here.
I'm going away on a little sailing cruise around New Caledonia with some friends. And when I made a joke about bringing my Switch, I got some very funny, not even funny looks, some very hey, this guy's still serious. So I will not be bringing my Switch.
This man still plays on the Switch? Man, we all moved on to the Switch.
Hey, there we go. That's what I was thinking.
But what I am doing, you're going to regret saying that, Seth, because this is something that you recommended, is I'm going to emulate Final Fantasy Tactics on my phone. Will I have the time to...
Based, actually, yeah. Final Fantasy Tactics is a very good game.
Will I have time to finish it while I'm lazing around on a boat getting sunburnt? Who knows? There's actually a good possibility I get eaten by a shark because there's been a lot of shark attacks recently. So if I don't come back, remember to listen to Fast Builders Lounge.
Where we get to build Steve his own coffin.
Just if you start falling, throw a raw steak about 5 meters away from you.
What's a steak's for vampires, not for sharks? See, that's a Redfall joke, and you wouldn't get it.
The blood will attract them to that steak.
And then you become a vampire survivor.
Oh, wait, hang on. Then we'd make a cartoon about me.
I'm trying to think of if there's anything else we can... No, I'm out. I got nothing.
We're squeezing blood from a stone. Wrap us out, Pat.
Did you say wipe us out?
I meant to say wrap us out, but whatever. That doesn't make sense either.
All right. Hand me the toaster. I'm going out with you.
Also, we don't have it on our docket, but we've got a YouTube channel and we post a couple of shorts there as well from like funny outtakes and stuff. I believe that's Fast Travel Lounge. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct. You can find us at Fast Travel Lounge on YouTube for all your video needs.
Yeah, so
especially for the tier list episodes.
Yeah, so if you do find yourself on the Fast Travel Lounge YouTube page, give that subscribe button a bit of a big smooch with a lot of tongue. That'd be greatly appreciated.
Or
I'm too pretty to work.
Or a follow or review on your podcast platform of choice. We are everywhere.
Only if you're going to give us 5 stars. If you're not going to give us 5 stars, don't bother.
In your walls. But as has been alluded to, we're wrapping up episode 71 now. So I've been Patrick. I've been joined by Seth and Steve. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Steven usually says something funny here, but I'm going to cut him off.
Happy birthday, Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. Fuck you, Seth, man. Dumb piece of shit. I'm going to kick you in the head. I am wishing for your demise now.